Keep going. I just need to check that now. Welcome to possibly 130, possibly 129.
Welcome to this quite sure what number we're on moment.
Well, also, it's quite funny that that's the case since I've named the episode Smash the DM's Mind with quotation marks numbers. And there's a whole numbers thing, and
I'm
I'd
so
be more
glad we're at
concerned
least
for you
consistent.
guys that you
And
picked
last-
Avogadro's constant as a number.
Yeah, we should be on 130.
I'm
Like-
fucking worried about that number. That's a big number.
okay, let's
What was
quickly.
it? 1.622 times 10 to the 23 or something?
Wow.
Avogadro's constant is 6.02214 times 10 to the 23.
Yeah. It's the number of atoms in a mole of something.
A mole?
Yeah.
I love moles.
Yeah.
Not that kind of mole.
Too fucking bad. I love moles.
I mean, I guess you could use it to calculate the number of atoms in a mole.
Actual mole.
Yeah, but you need like detailed
You would need to
analysis
know.
of what
yeah.
the mole's comprised of and how much of it is each thing, and it would be difficult. But
You would have to take them all apart very literally.
yeah, but you could do it. Theoretically, you could figure out how many atoms are in a mole.
Definitely slash cry for that mole.
Yeah, it would be a very dead mole by the end of the process.
It sounds like something that a mayor would do.
Don't give her ideas.
Too late.
How dare you refer to me as a mayor? It's accurate, but how dare you?
How dare you? True though, but still.
It's like that meme where it's like, essentially, how dare you, but it's like, but also yes.
I can't believe you all let a mayor get to this point.
Oh, I'm sad. I just saw that Crash Bandicoot 4's in my wish list. Because I'm sad because Crash Bandicoot 5 apparently was going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, the one that was going to be a Spyro and Crash Bandicoot crossover game.
Yeah.
And it got cancelled because
Live
Crash
action game,
Bandicoot 4
live service.
because Crash Bandicoot 4 only did like very well and not astronomically
So,
well.
are we ready?
I mean, I think we're already going according to Andrew.
Yeah.
Nice. So, who remembers what happened last time?
Wasn't the golden ratio.
Drow that were actually constructs, but they think they're drow now.
Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff on the planet, and then we talked to like leader of this evil planet who's off on a ship that looks very much like 40K. And they
Oh,
were like,
yeah.
"Can you go put down these uprisings?" And we were like, "Sure." And then we went there, and then it was like, "Oh shit, these robots are fucking evil,"
Rob-
because they were just like
robots.
programmed to be like the worst stereotypes of Drow.
Yeah, robots playing racism simulator, but literally.
So we sent them to Space Australia, where they can live a nice, happy life in the sunlight like normal Drow.
With all the spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, loads of spiders.
At least they like that part of it.
Yeah, once they can turn the spiders into shade, that'll be good for them. And then I took the chair I was sitting on prisoner. And
Yes.
it turned out that was actually really good for them because he was trying to get away in the first place.
He's very
But
happy.
now that we have him, we can like legit, maybe possibly figure out whether or not this is actually a time dragon ploy, which can't imagine why it would be, or if it's something else entirely, because these were the ones that allegedly that were doing all of the quote unquote rebelling uprising.
Well, these
Oh,
are some of the rebels.
Even though it's some of them, because I was going to say this is only a small pocket of them in it.
Yes, we
Oh,
love to
also-
rebel hiding inside a cave.
Oh, also
That's
the
why I
most
was
important
saying alleged.
the most important thing we learned, of course, was that a mayor was impersonating Sonya to get Sonya's demons to do things that were very
Yeah.
much against the sort of thing that Sonya would actually want them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to need to jump on that.
Because you got given like a bag of soul coins.
Yeah. with lots of upset people.
Also, I've ruined Andrew's Steam.
You have, yes.
Yes. Thank God for that.
And I will let this continue so that the good players can talk to the drow and not me. the
No,
sort of
you're a
recovering
good
evil
player.
person. I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm just going to go silent. But
So
my
yeah,
bears will flank this this drow at all times.
you have this drow.
Because
What do you
guess who
do?
just remembered they have the Ring of Winter?
Oh, thank God you finally remembered. I've been looking at those bears every time, wondering if you forgot.
There's a lot of stuff on my sheet.
Forget artifact.
I mean, essentially, big.
It's like the
mechanical hand-
least powerful thing on my sheet.
Can freeze
Big
planet.
mechanic. Big mechanical hand rests on the drow's shoulder. Is this another one you need us to have a look at?
Wait, what do you mean by a look at?
Pour him out.
Pour him out.
Yeah, see what he looks like on the inside.
I didn't know which word you said, and it was bad either way because it was either pour him out or whore him out.
I said core.
That's still pretty bad.
You know, like
For him.
I need you to like look on the inside of his brain and see what's going on there to see if there's any time dragon stuff happening.
Very
I mean,
distressed. in
I
the
can
face
probably
right
do
now.
that non-invasively.
I have the polar bears do a nice dance in front of him to try and calm him down.
He hears the word non-invasive and he's more happy.
Also, if you'd said whore him out, judging by what we saw in that cave, he already has been.
Yeah,
Nah, whores get paid.
Now he's way more traumatized.
And now he's sad because he doesn't get paid.
Well, also
just
you
focus on the
brought-
ice bears. Focus
you
on the
just-
ice bears. They're doing ballet.
You also just brought back like the memories of his trauma.
Hey, what if him coring your head out is removing all of the memories of your trauma?
Uh,
I mean,
he just looks horrified.
We could replace them with
Yeah,
happy
that's
memories.
right.
Like his face just looks completely horrified by this experience.
I like turning. I'm like, did I say something wrong? No one answers me. They're
Yeah.
just looking horrified. I'm like, oh, I must have fucked up again. Keep doing this.
It's like, hey, on the bright side, if we lobotomized you, your trauma would be okay. What?
No lobotomies, just removing those particular traumas.
Tin Man, do you reckon you can have a look inside his head without emptying him out and see if there's anything that shouldn't be? I do it now. Can I DM? Or can I?
Yeah, you can take a look at his code.
Find a USB port.
Beat those boots.
Yeah. He's pretty user friendly.
Well, now we saw what happened in the cave.
Yeah, make me a Tinkerer's Tools intelligence roll.
Tinkerer's Tools. Bop. I said bop. Damn, son.
Okay, you're sifting through the information in his head.
I just want to make it plain. Got malware scanners and shit going on in the background just in case we do encounter anything that shouldn't be there.
With the 30, you do notice some stuff.
He's got loads of drow propaganda windows open in the background. It's I'll just close those.
One of the big things you notice is you don't find any direct evidence of tampering, but you do find some stuff where it looks like his system has been manipulated and then possibly by a virus, and then it erased itself from his system.
So there's what TKO might describe as again doing air quotes scarring, so to speak, of like code, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
you
For
kind of
construct's perspective.
you kind of can figure out based on like the hole that it's left in his code, you know? It looks like
Mm.
there should be stuff like here and there that you think could have caused these changes, but there just
Hey, he's
isn't.
almost as broke as me.
So like you think that something has subtly manipulated his code and then deleted itself. It's very subtle. Like had you not rolled amazingly, you don't think you would have noticed.
Huh. Why is Tikio so badly beaten up? I've just noticed. He's got like low health. He's had like 2 long rests since. Anyway,
Someone's definitely had a tinker around inside your noggin, like. It looks a bit more broken than me in there, but still functional, evidently.
I mean, true. From your perspective,
like that was voiced to everybody.
also from your perspective, you would notice that his head seems like the information in his head seems in a strange order. Like, you can't imagine someone sitting down and programming this to function like it does. It seems like it's been randomly jumbled.
Either way too racist or AI generated. One of the two.
Good God, he's so racist.
Is that accurate?
Holds head in pain.
Not quite. It's more like everything's just in a weird order in terms of like memories and stuff.
Do I think it'd be safe to sift through them?
You could, yeah.
To see if there's anything that really stands out, like somebody getting a hold of them, or the transitionary period between them being animatronics on an attraction to just being sentient.
Its earliest memory are like some pretty of like it being activated by some relatively racist scholars who are like, I think this is what the drow were like.
They think. So they were just going off of whatever information they found, which could have been, what's the word I'm looking for, embellished.
Yeah.
There's my ignorant arse giving the drow the benefit of the doubt. I know that they're not great.
Then, a lot of the rest of his memories are occasional like chats with people at this like interactive museum that's designed to look like parts of like a drow city and bits of like caves and things.
The Underdark Museum.
Yeah. This guy was part of the like some of the drow liked to escape the Underdark and worship Saloon and dance naked in the moonlight and stuff. Although many of them got killed by Lolth, so you've got a lot of questions about like you've got a lot of people coming up and asking questions about like what was it like what's Saloon about? What's it like escaping? Is it dangerous? Stuff like that, you know? Until eventually the matron mother comes into the part of the museum that you're just in and orders you to follow. Initially you resist a bit, but a bunch of other drow and the matron mother kind of just beat you up and then take you along anyway.
Huh. So this guy's awakening came, or like self-awareness came like from them?
It's tough to say. His thoughts definitely got more complex on the way to the ruins, but it's hard to say if he's like quote unquote sentient or not. He might be.
Hmm.
He's definitely got some complicated thoughts.
I mean, yeah, he's obviously already, just off us talking before, demonstrated emotional responses to external stimuli. Which, if TKO was represented with any of what we were talking about, he would have just stone-faced blanked it.
You
He's
would
just
know
like,
that
He's like, this is weird.
you would know that his like part of its code is trained for like its thing is like responding to guess, so it has a lot of like emulated guesses at what emotions are and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
so that it can be it can be like it can appear happy to guests and things.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's emotionally responding to things.
Yeah, like that is what it's programmed to do. It's like you can see that there's code that is like it takes in external data and then uses the data it's trained on to like pretend to emote at stuff. But you're not really sure if it's generating new emotions or anything or knows stuff or if it's just guessing still. It's definitely highly advanced.
Yeah.
Like it's either very good at guessing or it's sentient.
Looks like the rest of the party.
So the problem you got is this lad's kind of designed to be, you know, appear self-aware and be emotional and respond to outside stimuli. So that from the outside could look like he is just an actual drow. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, aren't we all just guesswork?
I'd like to think, no? I mean, I'm only in my 30s and I'm pretty sure about a few things, not just guesswork.
and I now I'm definitely and I'm definitely just hard-coded numbers. Granted, a lot of it is in the wrong order.
A mayor walks in the room and is like, "Oh, are you guys talking about like sentience and souls and stuff?
Yep.
Oh, we could just like kill him and extract his soul. Then we can like, if he has one, then we know he's sentient and alive."
Okay, how is this guy responding to this? Because
Fucking
TKO
super
thinks
terrified.
TKO thinks responses to death threats would not be in his programming, or is it there? Is there
He's
like a subroutine of here's how you respond to a death threat?
I mean, he's encouraged to like if someone comes into the museum and like is attempting to rob it or stuff, he's encouraged to like try and escape and like
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
beg for his life to encourage them not to kill him or damage
Yeah.
the robot.
Yeah.
So he immediately like does back up and doesn't want to get attacked or killed.
Yeah, TKO takes the USB port out to let him move.
He's like, yeah, we just like kill him and then we can take his soul out, and then if he
I
has a
didn't-
soul, then
Ew.
we know he's
Oh
alive.
no, I didn't think that would be necessary.
Oh, but like souls do have like a measurable amount of power that you can extract from them. So
Why
we
is
can
he-
definitely determine if he's like a quote unquote living thing or not. If we just kill him. Pulls out the crimey knife.
Give us a second.
You know, most knives are crimey knives.
I see you've
Amir,
never done a
Amir,
lot
here-
of cooking.
Amir, here is my
This one's not, and I pull out a butter knife that is like completely rounded and couldn't stab anyone
Yes.
if it tried.
See, cooking knives. Most knives are cooking knives, to be fair. At least these days.
Amir, because Cold's like this is another clone slash robot, and Cold's just like This is my official retort to that statement. Bop.
Stabs.
Turns into silver.
Yeah.
Bloody
Ben's
mare.
like, alright.
Resheaths the sword.
Like, puts the statue over his shoulder. Just like, opens a portal in this wall. It's just filled with like broken Amer statues made of silver. Tosses it in.
Sigh.
Again.
Gotta melt those down at some point.
Yeah, you've probably got a good amount of gold's worth of silver in there now.
Yeah, it's definitely mounting up.
Oh.
He's a bit less scared now that he's not being threatened with death.
Anyway, as I was saying, I'm not entirely sure this lad's as self-aware as everyone reckons. He's kind of reprogrammed for it anyway.
I mean, this is quite the issue in that you could define people the same way if you go far enough back.
Well, surely all that we have to do is ask him something that isn't in his core programming.
But
He is designed to
yeah,
like modularly respond to stuff.
yeah, that's the problem, is that he could respond in such a way to, if you want to take it as like user interface, to placate visitors.
Yeah, but we could just ask him something that has like no bearing on us. Something that has entirely bearing on him that wouldn't concern somebody else's, concern.
And what are your thoughts on that? What that would be?
I'm trying. I'm thinking out loud to try and get there.
I'm thinking out loud because I can't think of an actual answer.
I have 28 wisdom, but the person playing me doesn't.
That is true. When you're not as good as your character in a stat, it's
Indeed.
hard to roleplay that.
Indeed. When your character has like god level stats and you're just like, I'm just a guy.
Human.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what that's like. Looks at Sonya's int.
Isn't Sonya's int like 30 or something?
It's 31.
Nice.
You are god level smart. Andrew's that smart in real life though, so don't worry about it.
That's definitely why I can't relate.
Yeah, you can't relate because Sonya's strength is just too low compared to yours. Obviously, in real life, you're like massively hench. You've got like a 50 in strength, right?
God, I wish I could see the world like Joseph does.
How's that?
Would we be take you or Tin Man, if we asked him questions, would you be able to see what his program is if I could comment what his programming is doing in real time? Does that sound like something that he could do? Like if we talked to him, he talked back and Tiki was plugged into him. Would he like see like certain subroutines like resolve?
Yeah.
Or is that not how it would work?
I mean, would be like connecting a laptop up to another computer and analyzing it.
You could sort of do that. Do you want to give it a go?
I just need to plug in the USB again. Hold still.
All right, bend over.
Nobody's gonna kill ye.
The USB socket's in the back of his neck.
Yeah, I was imagining that. I was imagining like Tikio takes a cap off of his fingertip and it's a USB port and he just prods the back of his head. And that does it.
Okay. What questions are you gonna ask him?
let's try something that is like really, really human, which is like like future aspirations as well as a bucket list type thing. So Court would be like, well, actually, did we get this guy's name? Does he have a name or a designation?
I
No
think
designation or a name or anything.
I think we asked, and he said they're all slaves, so they don't get names.
Yeah. Do. Could I pick a name?
If you want.
Oh yeah, what name do you want?
I'm gonna go with Freeman because I don't want to be a slave again. That was
Nice.
not nice.
What did they pick for their name?
Freeman.
I'm
Freeman.
Freeman.
That's nice and thematic. And also that also kind of like works for the question I was going to ask. Did anything happen?
Was that the programming, or was that like something else?
It looks like his programming generated like from. It's hard to decipher because it activated a subroutine which is related to pleasing guests, and that generated new code, which then gave that response. Is what happened.
So it's making more of itself.
Like, part of the learning subroutine has like taken whatever environmental data it was given, and then fed it through the like make guests happy subroutine, and that spat out like linking the idea of not being a slave, which is something that you don't like because you're someone who escaped the Underdark, and then spit out a name that's related to that.
Tio just shakes his head.
Okay. Question that I was going to ask, Freeman. Given where you are right now, you're no longer a slave. You've got your own name, and you could go anywhere. Where would you go? Or what would you want to do? Given unlimited resources and complete freedom of movement.
He thinks on that moment.
Freedom of movement. I know that spell.
It's entirely for you to decide. Nobody would stop you or stand in your way. Please don't say something bad like...
No, Colt doesn't say that last bit. He stops himself.
Please don't say something bad like stops. Yeah, I'm not gonna rock the boat.
Yeah, Colt's like, I've already given him something vague enough. Colt's like, the vaguer it is and the more broader scope it is, the less likely... Colt's thinking, the more broader scope and the more vague it is, the less likely he'll have any code that will, have a response for it.
He's always wanted to go study magic in a wizard tower in a forest. He wants to go he's always been he's always been sort of taken in by kind of the Feywild. So he's always wanted to go to sort of a cool enchanted forest type place and study magic.
The first half of that sounded very drow, but other like this is both Colt probably doesn't know and I don't know. Or is that something that the drow generally really want to do, or they just don't give a shit about the Fae?
Not specifically. Generally, drow are not. They're hostile to the Fae.
Yeah, because the only thing I know about a drow is 1, the racism, 2, lol, 3, saloon, and 4, the Underdark, and 5, they do not have a great society. A lot of it's built on slavery. But with their connection to the Fae, that sounds different. What would TKO say? Would that be some new code was generated? Or is that something that just fired off again?
It's accessed the generating... It accessed the learning stimuli part of the file, spat out new code, and then sent that to the pleasing guests part of the file, and then that spat out a response.
TKO's shaking his head.
He's like, it's still that pleasing guest file that's still doing it. Ah,
Again, this also comes up if you try to ask a human this and really analyze their thoughts.
I mean, that is Ben will chime in. That is true. If you ask humans questions, different bits of their brain will light up, indicating which bits they're using.
And their brain will be made entirely out of the programming that they were installed in, but they'll be using it in different ways if they're free thinking beings now.
I mean,
Yeah.
someone had to have created us all at some point.
Yeah, I know that I just asked this, but in character Cole will just be like, and correct me if I'm wrong. That whole bit about going to the Feywild, that's not something that they would generally want to do, is it? So this guy's clearly got some individuality about him.
I wouldn't think a programmed drow would be trying to get to the Feywild.
Yeah, like I said, but that's why I asked that, because if he answered with something akin to that, then it's like, well, he's clearly something's different.
So, do you want to pop to the Feywild and see what it's like?
Yeah, that sounds fun. Don't know anything about it.
How chaotic do you want?
Low for now.
just so you know, I'm just gonna keep this plugged in just so I can monitor you. I'll read.
Tikio
Okay.
pulls his finger and a cable extends out the fingertip like a leash.
Okay. Do you take him to the Feywild?
Yeah, we'll take him to like one of the more, in quotation marks, one of the more chill bits of the Feywild.
Ah, so only a couple of like horrific monstrosities in the distance. Got it.
Yeah, it'll to like one of the like civilization points. I'm sure Sunya would definitely know of like the equivalent in where she's from, places of like
Give me a
civilization.
D100 roll.
Oh, I like those. They always end well. 95.
Yo, it's either really good or really bad.
Yeah, just the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you show up in a lush forest with a lot of fantastical and strange plants, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this looks great. It's just how I pictured it."
I'll fly up just to see if I can happen to see a wizard tower.
You fly up. There isn't a wizard tower.
It was worth a shot.
You kind of see a village in the distance. It's like a bunch of you'd guess it's an Eladrin village.
Let's go visit.
There are a bunch of like trees that look that are like that have sort of grown in the shape of houses.
This is no. Am I right in saying that you took Tikio with him so you could stay plugged in? Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
said that, so I was making the assumption that you would have wanted to have
Yeah.
come along.
Is Tikio noticing any sort of like things pop off inside his head that he's not vocalizing? Like,
Yeah,
you know, like how an emotion might sprout forward in response to something, but you might not like tell someone.
he's like I mean, it seems like his facial expression is happy. His mind is racing with lots of different thoughts.
Mm.
It's a lot of like accessing the pleasing guests file, generating like a fair few responses based on like like he's said this in previous conversations, so that means that he should appear happy now because he's stated previously that's his dream, so it's like then triggering a bunch of different responses to emulate feelings of happiness and joy. He's thinking of like what he could do here and what he could study, things like that as well. So like a couple of like he's wondering if he could study the strange nature of how Fey deals work, the like biology behind some of the interesting plants and animals.
Now that is the sort of thing that you might think it's not entirely correct, but that's the sort of thing I was looking for. Is he's thinking about what he can do just for him, as opposed to, okay, what is the appropriate response to this moment? He's like, the wonder, I could maybe do this. Satikio's like, that's something that wouldn't crop up in my head. That's usually something in my subroutines, which is what is the appropriate action right now. But nah, that's, at least to me, that's different.
Also, you would note that those kind of thoughts come from a part of the code you would guess that has been subtly manipulated, and then, yeah. But yeah, he's pretty.
Tico is just going to note down the things that he says and just let him have his experience, and yet let Sunya take him around and do whatever. He's just sitting there at the monitor.
Yeah, Sunya would be like, "Hey, do you want to go to this village? There's a load of Eladrin, which are like different kind of elven species."
Okay. Are they nice?
I mean, varies. Anyone can be nice, and anyone can not be nice.
As you approach the village,
Yar, we're not nice. Oh shit.
an Eladrin approaches you and is like, travelers.
Hello.
Alvi.
Welcome. Can I have your name?
No.
Can I have your bones?
But you can call me Sunya.
Okay. Good to know.
But can I have your bones? Seriously.
But I do need some bones if you've got, like, spares in there.
They didn't have bones or a name.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is like a fair thing, which is just like kind of. There are all. So actually, because of how complex your algorithms are, you'd actually be quite good at monitoring. Generally, when a fair creature says something, there's like a 50% chance that it's something weird, like them trying to steal my name. Which would be interesting since I'm a god. Like, I wonder what that would do.
Also, Cthulhu owns 10% of your soul.
Yeah. So where would that 10% go?
Have you seen that Reddit post where it's vampire bites a fae, claims they're now the vampire's thrall. Fae says you've eaten fae food without permission, so you now must serve me. They take it to a lawyer. Now they're married. That's what happens.
Nice. Wait, so who am I marrying?
A fae lord. No. A fae lord marries Cthulhu, and then they get your entire soul.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
At least
Cthulhu
they're
and
getting
a
married
fae
though.
lord...
That's pretty cute.
Cthulhu and a fae lord get married. And then they own a god.
Can I at least go to the wedding?
Yeah, you're their adopted child now.
Joseph, you're just making it sound better and better.
Then give this random fae your name. They'll marry Cthulhu, and you get to be their adopted child.
No.
It's what'll happen.
Is it? It's exactly what'll happen.
Yes.
I tell them that.
They go, what the fuck?
That sounds like a very human response. That doesn't sound like a construct's response.
I'm
Just
very
saying, what the fuck to what Sonia said. Oh.
So yeah, this is a very chaotic place, but very fun.
Can I interest you in can I invite you into my home? Got some tea on the stove. We've got food on the table. Do you want to come in?
Actually, wait a minute. You two wait here. I'll be back in a second. Sonia vanishes, leaving the two of them. Well, technically three of them, but
Okay. The drow's like, sure, that sounds nice.
Sonia comes back with another Sonia. That Sonia casts wish for the next half hour. The three of us are immune to fear bargains.
He's like, damn wizards.
And
Closes door.
And then the other Sonia leaves. Alright,
All
so
the
for the next half hour, you're safe from the bullshit.
this Eladrin tells you to fuck off. Please.
God, no, I definitely don't want this person to be my dad. / mother. / both.
That's true. How you said that is accurate. They're Eladrin, so they just change all the time.
Yeah. Oh, just like the most precious of baby dragons we all love.
So they close their door and say you're no longer invited.
Oh, so what you're saying is that you've just took something from me.
Closes door.
Sounds like they just fair fucked themselves.
I mean, if you've made that wish, they've got an outlet to gain from you, so they're like, well, sod this.
Yeah, but by the rules of like fair bargains, technically we're immune to the effects for half an hour. They're not, and they just took something from us, which was the permission that they gave.
Accurate. They gave you an invite to their house and then they took it back. Do you want to use that against them?
No, but Sonia will explain to our new friend and TKO that process.
Dark Elf's like, place seems like a scam.
It can be.
Huh. A fairy approaches you from a small mushroom that's growing in the middle of the street that is their house.
Fair, yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you new around here?
Yes, technically.
Oh, that's nice. Could you help me move my house?
I will warn you, just to not waste your time, we are immune to fair bargains for a little bit.
Okay. I
Like-
just want to know if you can help me move my house. Some children picked it up and put it in the middle of the street.
Yeah, sure. Always happy to
Thank you.
actually help.
Thank you, just be very careful. It's like a football-sized mushroom that you need to pick up.
Sure, I will do the magic Joseph orb perfectly around it.
Oh, right. You cast Resilience Sphere.
So I said the Joseph orb.
Right, okay. You Joseph Orb. You now have it in a Joseph Orb.
I cast one of my spells I've been working on, Joseph Sphere.
Mm-hmm. Then do you just... Now, do you pick it up or do you roll it?
Pick up.
Okay, you pick it up. They direct you towards, like, a grove of other mushrooms.
Mhm.
And they're like, yeah, you see that patch there?
Yeah.
And there's, like, a patch where it looks like there used to be a mushroom, but is no longer a mushroom.
All I've got in my head is it's like a ring of mushrooms and there's just one missing. It's like, yeah, if you could put me back right there.
Yeah, if you could just... Yeah, slot me in there.
Ah, yeah, perfect. Carefully purses down. Un Joseph's.
They're like... but remember, don't step in the ring.
Oh yeah, I know. Weird shit can happen. Teleports and stuff.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's
This is very
alright.
very nice. Do you want some something to drink or something to eat?
Nah, we should be okay. Do you guys want anything?
You sure? I've got a thimble of lemonade. Or
I was muted.
Different drink now, mate.
I've got pie. Do you want some homemade apple pie? It's like it's genuinely about the size of your pinky nail.
I mean, it is adorable, but because of the size difference, we wouldn't want to take so much from you. Is there anything you want? Like, we can... I can make some, like, stuff for you, which would be, I guess, our size, so, like, it would be a bigger portion for you.
I have been trying to win a pumpkin growing competition. Could you increase the size of my pumpkin?
That sounds like a euphemism for something.
I mean, yeah, there's, like, plant growth and druid craft and shit.
Cool.
And
The fairy leads you to a pumpkin patch
At-
and
at
points at...
at a push, true polymorph into gigantic pumpkin.
Points at what appears to be the third largest pumpkin in the pumpkin patch. And it's like, this one, make it big.
Sure. We'll try those spells.
You make the... I mean, do you start with, like, druidcraft?
Yeah, start small.
The pumpkin looks healthier, but doesn't get a lot bigger
Makes sense.
than plant growth.
Yeah.
It's already very healthy and fully grown, but it does grow. It blooms a bit more. It grows a bit bigger. It mostly gets more vines, but it does get like a little bigger. It's bigger than second place now. First place is monstrously big, to be fair. But it does get bigger.
What if I just destroyed first place?
They go, oh, I don't want to just destroy that pumpkin, but I don't think winning's that important to me.
Oh, how about this? What if? Because this is like a Fatrixy thing. What if you introduce me to them, and I modify their memories so that they think that their pumpkin is the one that's in second right now?
Sure. plan on going this hardcore and winning a pumpkin contest.
Or if you want, I could pop to the shop and get some like growth hormones for plants.
That also sounds pretty good.
Sure. Where's a weird marketplace in the D&D world? The only place I can think of right now because of Joseph is the Bone Market.
Yeah, do you want to go to the corpse market in Dace?
Actually, that's a good point. The Corpse Market might have some good bone meal.
I mean, there's always the market ward in Sigil if you get really lost on things.
I can't go to
Everything's
Sigil.
there.
I was going to say the only place.
Oh, yeah. Am I the only one that was the kids that go there? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the only one that was the kids that go there.
Do you head off to the corpse market?
Yeah.
You're immediately greeted by a devil who goes, "Hello, traveler.
Hello.
Can I interest you in some amusements?"
Probably not, but what kind? Let's give you a chance.
"Yes, I can give you the finest things from all the realms."
Alright, I'm listening.
He produces a pocket watch. He says, "This watch tells you exactly when you're going to die, or when you're next going to eat cake."
So in Sonia's instance, would that watch just be spinning constantly?
The only one way to find out.
What would you want for it?
What do you got?
Actually, how about this?
Got any soul coins?
Yes, but I can't give them up because of a particular thing. How about this? Do you know somewhere that would have like really good bone meal type stuff for like that could help a pumpkin grow real big? And then she will psychically say into his head, if
You
you
are also talking to a demon that that looks like a it looks like a relatively low ranked demon, but it's a lot bigger and it looks like it's a daisy.
Sure. Literally, Sonia says in his head, if you help me out here, instead of like all this stealing soul stuff, I could bless you so you could leave here, hopefully. I'm a god, by the way.
Just casually mention it.
Doesn't say it out loud because obviously fucking Asmodeus is always listening.
They go. They think back to you. Actually, they telepathically commune back to you. What are you the god of?
Reproduction.
Oh,
And a little
fuck.
bit of fate.
They immediately stuff the pocket watch back into their jacket. And I go, "Shit, it's Sonia!" and they run.
Nice.
I use the big hand spell and grab him.
Big V's.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Sonny has big hands.
He's going, no! No, let me go.
He's just like, "No, please. Okay, what do you want? I know what I can give you bone meal. Please."
You want poop? You want the good stuff? I can give you poop.
Here's a spell scroll that makes plants bigger.
Oh, but I don't want to just rob you.
No, it's just leave me be.
Can I at least give you something? Something nice.
Sure, anything.
What a fucking weird first thought that came to my head. What a weird thing. Puts him down and just gives him a nice kiss on the forehead.
Thank you.
Why was that my first thought?
He's so confused now. Is this? Have you just marked me for death? Is that what's going on?
No?
Oh no.
I mean, like, if you're, like, wanting to stop with all the evil shit, you're always welcome in my heaven.
Sure. Better than here.
Do you want us to take you there, in fact? Since I realised it's probably difficult to get there walking from here.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take him to heaven. I'll take him to heaven. What?
Yeah, this demon is like, fuck yeah, got out of hell.
I mean, that demon was doing pretty good for being in hell.
So what do you want? Bone meal, poop, spell scroll that makes plants bigger?
I mean, I imagine that you have the spell scroll, and I'd need to take you back there for the other stuff. Unless you're like, you have magical poop.
Of course. Digs around in his jacket and is like, pulls out like a handful of poop.
Sure, okay. Mage hands the poop, and just takes that back to the fae.
Yay! That guy made off great. He got into heaven.
Yeah, he did.
Fucking great. He made it out of fucking made it out of hell.
Yeah, and hopefully, being in heaven long enough will have an effect on his soul that if he dies, he doesn't have to go back there.
Oh, it's gonna be very tragic when you find him in the sex part of your heaven later.
Look, as long as he's not harming anyone without permission.
Yeah, you go back to the Feywild. The drow is chatting with the fairy about different kinds of plants.
Yeah, magic poop also claims the demon I got it from.
Okay. Do you just like put it in the ground near the pumpkin?
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I
Hey,
can
there.
now.
Ah, I said yes.
Did- Okay. You do that. The pumpkin immediately grows fucking massive.
Wow, he has real magic shit.
It's way bigger than first place now. It does seemingly start to. Okay, something. Roll me perception, real quick.
Perception. I'm very good at the perception. Where's my character sheet? Because I've not needed it so far. How many sections am I purring? Oh, I've only got a +7 in that. That's upsetting. It's one of my lower stats. I've got more in fucking. No, I don't. My athletics is
You
+6.
got more in fucking. Damn,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a stat.
I mean, you are the god of reproduction.
Uh,
You should.
You see a symbol on like you see a symbol form while it was growing, but you can't see over the top of the pumpkin now. But you're pretty sure something was appearing on top of the pumpkin.
I mean, I guess I'll have a
But
look.
you'd have to like fly up there to get a better look at
Yeah,
it.
I will
or
do-
climb the pumpkin.
I will do the fly.
Which do you want to? Sure, you fly up.
'Cause I'm not
Uh,
climbing it.
There's like a weird symbol on the pumpkin. It's like a banner made of lightning.
Okay.
That's all.
I will take a note of it.
Cool. the fairy's like, do you want some tea?
I mean, I have been to Dis. Sure, I'll exchange some tea with you. I've got some real nice tea.
Hands you a very small amount of tea. Served in, well, it's like a bucket, but it's like the size of a fairy, so it is like a thimble of tea.
Yeah. I will enjoy smelling it
It smells really nice.
and then sip it like a fine wine.
Sonia, you get an amazing rush when the tea enters your system. It is magic of some kind. You just feel like a bit stronger and smarter and better for a bit. And then after like a minute, that goes away.
Wow, that's
But it's a lovely tea.
That's some strong
tastes-
tea.
It tastes wonderful. Like, some of the nicest tea you've ever had.
What's in that?
I imported it from Space Britain.
Huh. I have to visit there at some point. That was nice.
Yeah, apparently, they started selling a bunch of tea to fund a bunch of wars.
Fair enough. Hans, comically oversized for them. Pamphlet.
Oh, thank you for the. And they have like an outdoor tea room, effectively, because of this
outdoor tea
giant
party.
them. Yeah, they have this giant vat of tea now to them. So they have an outdoor tea party with all of the fairies from the other mushrooms.
See,
The
look.
fairies seem quite happy. One
Je-
of them looks very disappointed seeing the size of their mushroom relative to the new biggest mushroom.
You mean pumpkin?
Sorry, pumpkin. Yeah. One's a bit disappointed. But the fairy who's got the biggest pumpkin's like, yeah, I won.
And they obviously also get the comically oversized pamphlet of heaven.
They're like, oh, nice. Spare room? Is this meant to like lie on the side of our house?
I mean, it
A
can
spare room.
do.
Like a barn.
In a non-fair way, can I ask your name? Because I think we're friends. I'd like to know my friend's name.
I'm Lilia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What is your name?
My name is Sonia, god of reproduction.
Ah, nice to meet you, Sonia. God?
Yeah, the pamphlet's like, you're welcome to come to my heaven if something bad
What
happens to
language
you.
is the pamphlet written in?
I mean, I guess probably common, just because Sonia's weird, common on one side, braille on the other. It's a really bumpy pamphlet.
They've got it of like. Sorry, I don't understand whatever that says.
Oh. Give me a minute. I'll need to go grab one of the. I'm guessing Sylvan.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, because I generally carry the common ones around. But I've got like a smaller number of the different racial ones, but I don't carry them with me. Sonia once again abandons the two quotation marks party members.
They have a nice time.
I was just going to say, I love it how the constructs are both just following you around through this.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out.
Tikio is just monitoring how the other one is responding to all of this.
I mean, yeah, he's like, when Sonia leaves, he immediately goes and chats to the fairy and like is like, oh, which flowers are safe to pick up and study.
Also, despite how chaotic this is, this is just because I'll probably forget. Later on, Sunya will tell, help brain-stopped Robo Boy.
Freeman.
No,
As he
Freeman.
named himself.
main character.
Main character.
TKO?
TKO.
Yeah,
He's not main
excellent.
character. He's not main character.
He is.
He's-
He's controlled by an overgod, thus his main character.
Is he?
Anywho, we'll tell him later that a lot of the chaotic shit she was doing was partially just to help out the friend, but also very good stimuli for Drow friend.
I mean, Tikio's got like no qualms about what you were doing. He's just like,
I'll be. You're not wrong, like, it were.
But
speaking
yeah,
of, I take it that his like mind must have been like firing off like an stomata throughout that whole thing.
Yeah. He's generally been like, I didn't know this I didn't know this about fairies and stuff, and like learning module access, like interpreting like the data of what fairies are like, and it's sort of assembles a file on them. Same for a bunch of plants that he's identifying and stuff, and like applying theories that he knows to about magic to like this fae stuff, and he's trying to like puzzle together how it works.
The fact that he's taking the initiative to actively go and do it, as opposed to just, information received, stored. He's gone, no, I want to know more about that, and he's gone after it. Tikio is like, again, that's not very constructy. It's very much more like how all of the organics behave.
He's especially interested in like the fairy ring because he does know a fair amount about like conjuration magic and teleporting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like analyzing the fairy ring and how the weird transportation works, and trying to figure out how it actually works.
Yeah. But there's no sort of subroutine firing off for him to, because obviously if he's like going after that information, he has a want for it, obviously. But there's no sort of like numeric thing going on that would fire off when that happens.
It is accessing like, in a previous conversation, he said this, which is that he wants to go to the Feywild and study plants and stuff. So I'll start. So like, the subroutine starts accessing. You're in the Feywild now. You should go actively seek out plants and magic and stuff. So he starts doing that, and then that runs through the learning module of interpreting like new data, and then creating potential thoughts and responses to what could be going on based on what he's observing.
Yeah. Tikio will save it until like we are back on the ship to report that. If we're still in the Fae.
I mean, I will ask the guy if he'd like to come back with us still, because I'm obviously not going to force him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Freeman's like, oh yeah, I do need like, I guess resources and stuff to build a tower somewhere.
Right.
And otherwise, I don't really have anything except these rags that I was wearing.
I'm seeing there's loads of conjuration magic in your memory banks. That can be useful in building towers.
You can come back with
Yeah?
us. We can help each other out. Happy to help you. Plus, you can always come back here if you want.
Okay, yeah. You guys all seem nice enough. You freed me. Do you take him back to the ship?
I will say my goodbyes to my new friend.
Lilia waves you goodbye and is like, thanks for the tea.
You too. Have a lovely day.
You as well. Man, it's always nice to meet God.
Casually.
Just on like an afternoon stroll.
So I went out to the mushroom fields yesterday and met God. Hadn't planned on that.
Yeah. She's
quick-
quite nice.
Quick question, just to make you make something else up, but it's actual in character. What's the name of the town that we visited? I would ask that before
Beetle.
leaving. Beetle.
It's Beetleroot. Is the name of the town. It's famed for the fact that the first plant that ever grew here, for no well explained reason, was a sort of oak tree, and the acorns that came from it all when like they landed on the ground and people assumed they would sprout into like regular plants, they became giant beetles that just wandered around.
All right, I'll just say that to keep it in my memory. Beetleroot, Beetleroot.
Yep. You can even see some of the giant beetles just wandering about, a bit like cows. They have them in like fields and farms and stuff, you know.
Honestly, now that I think about it, that definitely seems like something that would happen in Feywild shit of like the Beetlejuice thing, but like if you say a Beetleroot 3 times without meaning to like want to go there or anything, you just teleport to that town.
Oh, I mean, what would probably happen is if you said it and then tried to move from wherever you were, you would somehow end up in wherever you were trying to go. Well, the place you were saying, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that you move from one room of your house in a different city to another, and suddenly you're in a random room in Beetlebrute.
I like this town.
Yeah. It's a good place.
Apart from that one guy that tried to get us and then was real grumpy.
Lily would be like, "Oh, you met Steve? Yeah, he's kind of mean. They kind of get like that once they get to like their last, 50-ish years of life. He's getting on a bit, you know."
Yeah, Sonia would give like a real basic, like not Lumen explaining the multiverse level of description, but like information about like the situation with the drow that she saw that's with me.
Okay. They're like, "Oh, well, you seem pretty person to me."
Yeah, that's what we think as well.
And he's like, "Oh, thank you." Uh, just like chills there, I guess. He's happy that they think he's a person.
Sure, maybe when you've learned a bit, here might be a nice place to come build your wizard tower.
Yeah, that seems nice.
You could help out the fairies that seem to get bullied a bit, and they could help you out with learning of fae culture.
Yeah, that sounds nice. The fairies seem pretty open to that deal. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're welcome back anytime. If you're a friend of whoever, Sonia,
No,
that's your name. God."
Yeah, it's just whatever you want, really.
Sure, I'll pray to you the next time we have like a gathering or a get together or a party or something, you know.
Sure.
I'll shoot you a prayer.
Nice. Yeah, and if those kids bully you again, let me know.
Okay.
I love the idea of just a bunch of like Eladrin kids. They've just been like playing around and messing with some fairies, and suddenly they have God on their back.
I mean, yeah, fucking God shows up, and they're like, ooh.
It's like, oh God, it's God.
And that, children, is why you don't pick on fairies.
Yeah, because God is watching.
Because God will get you. So yeah, do you take him back to the ship?
Yeah, we pop back. That's been a good probably hour or so.
Yep.
I'd been a bit. And Tiki was just like,
Well, it's definitely extremely advanced, but there's a lot of computing going on in there. But it's more than what I would expect to see, if not else. This is as close as you are going to get to whatever's going on inside your organics brains, but as computers. At the same time, it looks like he has been tampered with, so whoever done it, bloody clever.
sounds like a seal of approval to me.
I mean,
What did you get up to?
we went and visited a fae village, met some really nice people, one not nice person, helped them out. We're now friends there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that.
Did Tiki Freeman enjoyed himself?
Yeah, had a great time. He like pulls out a plant that he was allowed to take with him. He's like, yeah, look at it. It's cool. Watch this. And he breathes on it, and it's got a sort of droplet shaped petals around what looks like a blue marble as a sort of central point that they're all hanging off. And as he breathes on it, the marble changes from blue to green, and the purplish sort of petals become more orangey. It's a plant that changes colors when you breathe on it.
Nice. Let's find like a little area. Actually, if it's gonna make unsafe things, why don't we, and Sunya's like, for now you can have the this far cell that we don't really tend to use a lot, and you can have that as like your plant room.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because
Starts putting.
yeah, like if any of the plants end up being dangerous, as long as you've got the force field up, it's only dangerous in that room.
Starts putting plants up. He does question, hey, who's the guy in there? Kill Colt! Murder him!
So we're still sort of figuring that one out.
Yeah, on the Tannoy, Tiki on the Tannoy system, Tiki was just like,
Still figuring that out. He's clearly mental.
Hopefully we'll figure that out soon.
What the list of things to confirm are stacking up. 1, this whole AI shenanigans. 2, what the hell is the mayor doing with your demons? And 3, that guy. 4, the rest of the plot.
Point 4 covers a lot of stuff.
Yeah, point 4 has like a lot of stuff in brackets. It's like click to expand.
It has one asterisk, and then the asterisk has an asterisk.
Yeah, it's like you click expand. Oh God, your big list. Right. Quotes with what Tikio said about if it looks like it's been tampered by someone who's clearly really bloody clever with how like minds work. Quotes like remembering how one of our other construct friends, like one of these I think, said that they did see correct me if I'm wrong, they said that there was like a cloaked individual that walked past them and then they had their sentience.
One of them was someone walked through an archway in a courtyard, and as Andrew or Sunya described it, as like they had like a OCD sort of like it wasn't even on both sides of the courtyard, so they felt like they had to walk through the same arch. But they did notice someone. You're correct. They did go near them. And that is the moment they got this.
Colt doesn't want to leave any stone unturned. He's gonna ask for that one, whichever one it was, and it's just
Sure.
gonna be like, "Hey, are you alright if Tikio takes a little like look at that your last memory as your old construct self? You know, the same way that you just did with Freeman over there."
Sure. They
Should we just say-
approach.
Should we just say it's this guy, or is there like a specific one you've got singled out?
Yeah, it is this guy. I singled him out because he was the one who was mainly talking to you last time.
Tikio will like look for the memory that Colt described and see if anything stands out to him, either about the individual, about whether there's gaps
Roll me
in
an
like times,
investigation check.
whether there's gaps in timestamps, or whether it looks like there's alteration of that memory around that point, or if there's something to do with the archway. He's just going to analyze the whole bloody thing. Investigation here.
Yeah.
Come on, Tikio. You've been doing well today. Hell yeah.
Uh,
53.
doesn't seem like there are any like gaps in the actual date or in like any of the timestamps or anything. But when you're looking at the footage really closely, you do notice that the character like is a little. There's something off about him. Like, it seems very normal. Even looking at it a lot of times over and over again, it doesn't immediately jump out at you, but you do notice that, like, he just appears a bit off. And then you kind of get, like, a... It's really hard to tell in a photo, but you see, like, a tiny little... It's like an almost imperceptible flaw of illusion magic over the person.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
is
don't-
very hard to notice, but you do spot it.
I don't suppose I'm able to use my Eldritch Sight through this, am I? Because it's not using my ocular receptors, it's going through it
Yeah,
in a type of mental scape, so to speak.
you can't really apply like special kinds of vision to this because you're
Yeah.
taking a picture from someone else's memory.
Yeah, just wanted to be sure.
It's sort of the thing you notice is it's a bit too perfect is the problem.
I'm just gonna take a screenshot of that.
Sure, they look like a relatively distinguished gentleman wearing like moderately sophisticated
Oh, so
clothing.
are they not even like cloaked or nothing? Because I'm not gonna lie, this whole time I've been envisioning someone with like a hood over their head.
No, they look like a pretty normal person.
Like,
I mean, that you do know
human
they are
or-
you do know they are covered in illusion magic, so they could look like anything. But they look like a pretty generic person, just from this planet. Like, they look like a pretty standard Imperial citizen.
He took the screenshot, but at the same time he's like,
You know what it is? I'd like to see some CCTV on where this lad went. Or where he came from.
Or he goes. Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where did he come from? Where did he go?
I'm just straight up just gonna like headcanon. We just hear Sonya making that noise from down the corridor.
Look, Cotton Eye Joe is a banger.
What do you mean? Blips the screenshot onto like all the monitors and stuff. Just like,
This is his exact memory, but that face, that's an illusion, that. Or at least part of it is.
You'd guess his entire body is covered in an illusion. It's just a very sophisticated one.
like he's using like a souped up version of disguise self, or if he's a changeling.
Yeah, or like there's lots of ways he could have altered his appearance, but however he's doing it, it's very difficult to tell him apart from a normal person. Nearly impossible.
Can the divination orb single out a person even if they are disguised? Like if you knew a changeling and you knew them as like a certain face, you imagine that face of that changeling, but then it would show you a totally different person because that changeling had changed face.
Do you want to look for that do you want to use that image to look for that person?
TQ will, yeah.
Sure.
You'll get the bracket thing that.
Yeah,
helps.
con save with advantage.
He's like, he's asking for the bracket, and he's like,
Look, Anara doesn't really affect me, but it's going to cost you a fortune in eyes otherwise.
Yeah, don't worry. I know.
points at his own eyes.
These things are expensive.
They are.
I know.
Nice, you gotta keep your eye. And Ben's like, yes, my bottom line.
The fucking suppliers up to their price. Damn it.
I know. God. Yeah, you search for their location. They appear to be in a cafe, enjoying a nice spot of tea at the moment.
So they look the same.
Yeah, they're still in disguise, you would believe.
Huh. That being said, TQ is a constant. He's like, I'll freaking watch him.
Yeah, he spends a little time drinking tea. He heads out and starts. He goes to like, it's really weird. He goes into this building and then you watch as he begins tying knots. He then proceeds to do this for like hours of tying the same kind of knot over and over and over again.
Like it's a production line.
No, you would
Right.
guess he's practicing to try and become better at tying this one type of knot. Like he's analyzing them to see if he can become better at it. And then he tries again, and then he just keeps doing that. You guess he really likes tying knots. Again, they're in a post-scarcity society. This is just what he likes to do.
Unless he's like, because we've seen that the constructs can do magic, and it's pretty potent apparently, since an 18 doesn't beat their DC, so it's got some oomph behind it. So he was like, maybe he's a construct that's using illusion magic to stop other creatures knowing that he's a construct that has got some wires crossed. Might be just like these guys, but didn't have the luxury of having creatures like us get access to. He's just like collating all of these potential scenarios and weighing up how likely each one is.
Oh yeah,
He will tell the party this later.
he does also take the best knot of the day and goes into another room where there are like it's a large room with a big wall with tons of different knots, and he like very carefully places it uh, in in this like large glass display case that takes up this entire wall. That is a bunch of different knots that seemingly are all very well tied.
I know that this might be looking too deeply into it, but is it a specific kind of knot,
Uh,
or is it one that is it like a specific kind of knot, or is how do I ask this without it just being like really blunt and fourth wall breaky?
it's a it's
Is it a type of
square
knot
knot.
that I? Is it a type? Right, it's a type of. Is it a type of knot that I would think would be used for anything, any type of task that it would go towards?
It is a square knot.
Right.
Like there is a diverse range of knots on this wall.
All right, so he's not just doing one over and over again.
Yeah,
He's doing lots.
He has a practice room where he practices one kind of knot until he can tie it perfectly.
Ah, the
Then
knot room.
once he's done that, he then puts it in the display knot room where he has all of his perfect knots.
I can't. My brain's just going. You need a hobby, mate. You need a hobby, mate. Acquiring hobby.
This is my hobby.
Then-
It's 116, but he's not a bird nerd.
He then leaves the knot room. And he heads off. Gets lunch. The robots there bring him like food and they service him very well.
All right, and the other constructs don't eat.
Not
this guy's-
typically, no.
So this guy's not a construct.
The constructs can eat. They
Okay.
just don't have to.
Okay, so he's either not a construct or he's putting up an extremely good front.
But yeah, I mean, as far as he's aware, no one's watching him, and he is eating.
Uh-huh.
Like he grabs food, heads back to his like.
So no other constructs around him start showing abnormalities after interacting with him.
No, not particularly.
Ah.
He hangs out
Also-
with some friends for about over the course of like the afternoon. Then he heads home.
So other than the knot thing, there's no like weirdness around this guy. Well, that and the illusion magic on his face. But there's no like other weirdness. He's
Roll me investigation, but not particularly.
28.
There is no illusion magic on this man.
So somebody stole his face with magic.
Yeah.
Somebody saw him, and they went, right, I'm going to use like a souped up disguise self to make myself look like him. Tikio stops at this point.
When you've just been like spying on this nut guy all day.
As soon as he notices there's no illusion magic there, he's...
No. I think another 3 hours is necessary.
I was going to say Colt is going to ask the other sentient constructs. Did any of it? Because Tico did put it on a monitor. Have any of you guys seen this guy either?
They'll look at him. One of the street cleaners is like, I think I've seen him before. Yeah, he goes. He has a. I think he has a warehouse that he ties knots in all day.
All right, but Cole's like, so it's not like all of you have seen him, because then that would be a threat to Paul if all of you had seen him.
Oh no, not all of them have seen him.
Wait, a thread to pull?
Like,
I mean, that's what I'm looking for right now.
you can tie a knot with that.
Yo.
I mean, Colt hasn't seen that bit yet. He's been talking to them.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, that guy's whole thing is like his dream in life is to tie the best knot.
Tikio comes away from the divination. Obviously,
Massive waste of time that was. Someone stole his face with illusion magic. That's just a bloke with
No, not
a
guy.
hobby. A hobby.
I love Knock Guy. Have you been
Someone's
watching Knock
framed-
Guy?
Someone's framed not guy. We gotta nail this guy's ass to the wall. Not guy's my best friend.
He's everyone's best friend.
all right, that's strong opinions coming from a construct who's seen him once.
That's just the way it goes sometimes. You get a strong
Look.
opinion about something.
My own personal freedoms mean very little to me compared to not guy's happiness
Like, the same.
and his data security.
Oh,
I refuse
he's-
to have
if
any
he's-
identity theft done against not guy.
true. It is using disguised self is identity theft. Oh, I know how he feels. I've had that happen to me before. It's not fun.
It's not fun.
Ah!
Nicely picked up. Okay. Oh.
Justice for not guy.
Tikio's gonna be like, right, fucking gonna be more thorough about this. He's gonna systematically go through the other constructs, look at their memories around where their awakening allegedly took place, and look for similarities such as any individual with illusion magic
Give me
on them, and
give me
any
an
other bits and
investigation with
bobs.
advantage.
Yeah, because Tikio's like he's like trying to narrow it down to a 100% yes. We know what the answer is now. He's really trying. 24. It's getting worse. It's going down.
You occasionally spot an individual who is cloaked in illusion magic, but they're different every time.
Yeah.
Follow-ups with the divination sphere would tell you that these are just like normal people who the appearance of them has been briefly stolen to
I mean, I wasn't going to use the divination or, but yeah, thank you for that.
walking robots.
Albeit, I can confirm that there was in
In the vast majority or all of them?
Vast majority.
It doesn't differ between the street cleaners and the sewer cleaners.
The sewer cleaners mostly don't see anyone. The street cleaners occasionally notice someone who you notice has illusion magic.
Right, do I notice any sort of correlation between the memories of the sewer cleaners? Or do they just suddenly...
They just
Like-
suddenly like they're cleaning the sewers one moment, sentient the next.
So they're not like under a drain or anything?
Not explicitly, although like they're under the streets and buildings all the time, so theoretically if something could figure out where they were, they would only need to just walk
Hmm.
above them.
Analyzing these guys with Eldritch Sight doesn't reveal anything either, does it?
Not
Or the-
really, no. They're just
Other than the
robots.
magic that they all have in them, like we covered last time. They do have a spell, Chris. They do have a spell gem that has prestidigitation in it.
one of them does.
Or one of them has that.
Yeah, the most advanced one does.
Right. So Tikio will still...
I can confirm that this illusion cloaked fella appears in the vast majority of their memories. But there's no memory of him actually doing the tampering, unless he's either deleting the memories in a very thorough, permanent way, or he can do it just by passing by.
Oh, what was that Nintendo thing where they just had to walk past you?
Oh, Street Pass.
Street Pass.
I
Yeah,
literally
Street
just
Pass.
saw someone
Like
tweeting
a
about
street
that.
pass.
Weird.
Yeah, so Tikio's like, it's either he's very good at wiping himself out of the memories, or he can do it just passively by being near them. But he's like, that's at least one suspect of some kind.
All right, that's a lead.
He's cloaked in pretty potent illusion magic and all. So if we switch on all of our arcane sensors so we can see it, you'll stand up like a sore thumb.
True.
Unless there's a whole bunch of people in that city using the same sort of magic.
Do you start using like a lot of different sensors and scanning the city and stuff?
I mean, TKO would probably be quite happy to just switch on Eldritch Sight and start flying around. If it provide, you know, how come you went for a walk in the city? I take it nobody reacted to him badly or nothing.
Some
Oh.
people. I mean, when you were with Ben, nobody asked you to do anything.
Yeah, because they just looked at TKO and went, "Oh, that's his like worker droid.
Yeah.
Ben can fly."
Sure, Ben's like, okay, I'll come with you.
Up and away.
When he gets outside the ship, he's like, and once he's getting to the air, he does transform into a big dragon. He's like, oh, it's so nice to like stretch. Oh, it's
Spread the wings out.
so much better.
And I'm just gonna say Colt would volunteer to come with them, just like in a sort of added muscle if necessary.
But Ben describes the feeling as like, do you know when you've been like sitting down for ages and you finally like stand up after like a long car ride? That's so much nicer. That's what it's like.
I kind of get what you mean. I mean, I can't sit down for that long. I get too, like, twitches his leg a little bit. You know, restless. Need to get up
Yeah.
and move around, you know?
Also, for reference, you are speaking to like this.
Yeah, tongue of the sun and moon.
I mean, yeah, he's still speaking in common. He's just that size now.
Yeah, but Colt was just like, yeah, no, he's aged and he's big, strong dragon boy now.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Look at the boy. He's got that face.
Yeah. But he starts flying.
There's a bunch of people in the town like, oh god, a dragon.
Some people do question why there's a big dragon flying around. He's just like, I'm just visiting.
I fly a bit. Colt flies a bit lower. It's okay. He's just a tourist.
They're like, oh, okay.
He's totally cool.
Just yeah, he's right. He's not attacking anyone. That's fine with us. They leave you to your business.
That's another one of the reasons Colt went. He was like, I better go to keep the peace because they're going to make a scene. I take it. Do we find any, or do we find like tons, or
Give me an investigation.
another one? Come on, take your
Another one.
another one. Nat 20.
Yeah.
You do actually see someone with a highly sophisticated illusion just in the streets. Hang on, I'll take us over to the city map. There it is. Wah-boom.
Yeah, take your. Will point that out. It's like
That looks like a perp.
suspect.
Perp.
Suspect.
Perspect.
Perspect.
Get some perspective.
Yeah.
I didn't have the memory banks for that.
Do you approach them?
TQ would probably like Iron Man landing, like, you know, ka-thunk into the ground. And just Ticket Ben like lands his dragon ass self behind.
Yeah. When he lands on the street, he turns back into his normal sized self for fear of the streets not being wide enough. Yeah, you meet this guy. It's like, hello.
Oop, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
Zoom in, zoom in.
How,
He looks like a tiefling.
how do you do? Ah, TKO. Nice to meet you again.
Okay, so like, alright, in response to that, Tikio,
Are you here
Ha-
for the same reason as me?
right, he had his,
Ah, long KO.
Like- you know, his, like, arm laser cannon blaster there he's got. He had, like, that raised up and was, like, loading a, like, sort of, like, come with us sort of, like, statement while Colt was about to go, look, we just need to ask you a couple of questions, alright? Please don't
Ro-
mind him. But then he starts with that. And it's like,
Roll perception.
who? Both
Uh,
either character, both characters?
all of them.
Okay. Tikio. That's a 21. Colt, load up his sheet because I had Tikio's already open.
Then Ben doesn't notice because that's funny. It's a low DC. Technically, it's probably DC like 10, but it's funnier if it's DC like. It's funnier if like nobody notices. So
But it's the fact that he referred to him as TKO, like, makes TKO stop, and he's like,
As far as my memory banks are aware, the only people who know my designation is this lad and people who are dead. Who are you?
TKO is the only one who notices this because it's funnier that way.
he does have his Eldritch Sight active.
Yeah,
Again,
the
still.
21.
Sorry, we already said that.
The 21. You notice that time has stopped moving for everyone except you three and this person. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like Ben and Colt have twigged onto that yet because it
Mhm.
just happened like so naturally.
I want a coffee. Person blank faced just staring at them. Coffee.
TKO is still holding the blaster up, by the way.
And
And he's waiting for a response.
he's just like, oh, yeah, I'm here investigating the robots. Assume that's what you guys are doing as well, right? Oh, sorry. Hang on. Take my disguise off for a moment. He stops being disguised and starts being this person.
Yeah, and immediately TKO puts like the gun down, and Colt is like, "Oh, so it is you."
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's you. Who are you again? You know, I'm like the wait,
he's-
you don't remember me?
No, yeah, they remember.
I don't know. I just find that very funny as a thought. Like, but I'm
So
kind
you're
of
not-
important.
So are you? Let's just be candid here, because
Yeah,
we've
so
already had enough run-ins. I
did
take
you
it
guys
you're
make
not-
these robots sentient? Is that
No, that's what we're trying to figure out. My construct friend here is getting seems to be developing an understanding of what frustration is around it. We're trying to figure that out.
okay?
We've rescued like a dozen of them, just over a dozen of them, who have
I'm-
become sentient, but we can't figure out why. Some of
Huh?
them have key. How weird's that?
That is interesting. I came here to investigate the same sort of thing.
Did you know that you're getting blamed for it?
Yeah, I imagine they would. I'm trying to stop these fucking idiots from killing themselves. Because there is a timeline where like they make friends with the robots.
I mean, they should. None of them, apart from the ones that were initially programmed for racism in the first place, they all seem fine.
Yeah,
There's no reason why they shouldn't.
I like
mean,
him
they're
be
all
like, wait,
individual.
program for what?
Oh, there's a few that are drow. There's a few that were programmed to think that they were drow, and some of them kind of really leaned into it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, there are bad individuals and stuff, and I guess they can defy their nature and things, but I guess that takes time.
Yeah, and some of them are, some of them aren't.
But Tish. Oh, time jokes.
Yo.
Way over Colt's head. Tiki was not programmed for humor.
But he's just like, yeah, I came here because I kind of. So the last massacre that occurred, it couldn't be prevented, which kind of sucks.
Massacre?
Oh, first the people who initially invented sentient AI, they had to die. I did try and save them. I tried to save them many times. But saving them always led to something much worse happening later on. Basically, I could never like stop the problem. It always just got worse later. I could sort of like delay when the robots would kill the massive racists, but I could never just stop it or solve the problem permanently. So I'm hoping to come here and stop it here. Hopefully I won't need any do-overs for this civilization.
Yeah, just to even begin that, we'd need to know where it's starting. We know that they are still constructs, but they are being tampered with, but we don't know by who. And if you can't find whoever they are, man, they've kept themselves hidden really bloody well.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know they'd been tampered with. I've looked at a couple of them. I
Well, you
haven't.
didn't look at them the same way I can, mate. It's about as close to an active brain as you can get in there.
Interesting.
Or at least I imagine how a brain in an organic creature like yourselves works.
Can you
It's a
show
lot
me
more
this?
advanced than mine.
Can you show me the evidence of this tampering?
I'm gonna quickly take a look at Tikio's spells. Just a second. Shit. Why does he have Gust Barrier? Why did I give him that?
Oh, it's a very important thing for him to have.
Anyway, regardless. Um.
Hey, boss man, you got your smartwatch on. Can you make an illusion of what I'm putting on that?
Sure. Ben can create an illusion from. If you can give him an image, you can make any basically anything.
Tikio is just going to like upload like a clip of, or like a screenshot of like his memory bank of the subroutines and things are all actively working that he saw in there, and just put that on like the smartphone so that he can like look at it and then make a minor illusion to make it big, and then Tiki will just be like, okay, this bit should have something in it, and it doesn't.
I
I mean, unless the time dragon is like super well versed in like constructs, I assume it just looks like a bunch of ones and zeros to him.
he takes a look at it, and he's like, "Oh, no, I think I see what you're missing here. Yeah, they haven't been. I don't think they've been. Well, I guess you could technically call it tampering, but it's a bit of an odd way of describing it.
Why, have they just lost something? And it's
Oh,
not exactly...
No, the X element you're looking for is like, I would assume, not one to deign the greater musings of the afterlife or whatever, but I think it's the soul. I think that's what's like altering them. Like they've grown a soul and it's altering their behavior and personalities. Or at least that's what I believe. It's a bit odd to call it a virus, but like, yeah, I guess you could describe it that way. It's
Some
odd.
might.
like Court's just like, so what Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but just with my perspective, the only thing strong enough or clever enough to do it would be like a god of some kind.
Yeah, typically gods create races and things like that, or imbue souls onto stuff, but like humans naturally evolved without a god just like bamfing them into existence.
Hey, TQ, or do you constructs have a god?
I do. I don't know.
So
Mechanist
like
question mark?
it's possible for creatures to just gain souls through evolution, but it seems like these robots have just like evolved far enough at this point. They're just a different type of life, and now, I suppose.
I would describe what I saw in that lad's head as evolution. Like he was developing in front of us, like becoming more developed, just by the hour. That's some rapid progress. That like.
Yeah, yeah, it seems pretty accurate for like if you give a being loads of intelligence and then slowly lull it into trying to make it to give it some, how do we put it, wisdom, I suppose.
I suppose the only real thing to do now is just try and convince the powers that be in this place that they just need to, if they do find any constructs that are sentient, just gather them up and educate them as opposed to, getting rid of them. Help them with their new sentience and help them integrate. Whether or not they're going to do that or not is up for debate.
Yeah.
Hey, also for what it's worth, it's nice to hear that we're on the same page about this one.
Yeah. Uh,
You don't say this though.
Colt.
We spoke to the boss lady of this place. Didn't seem that nice.
Colt.
Yes.
As you say this, a flash of white light is emitted from your face.
Not again.
I'm gonna, because it's white light going away from his face. I'm just gonna be like he in that one moment he like leaned his face towards Tiki or Ben. He's like, "You
And this
guys
guy's
all right? That you seem to flash white a little bit.
And this guy's like, "What the hell was that?"
What the hell was
Uh,
what?"
You're
Uh,
flashing people.
Give me a perception roll, TKO.
Perceptione. Bop. 23.
For the briefest instant, white mask appeared in front of Colt's face, and then it stopped.
Mm.
And everyone is just is like looking at you like, what was that? Did you just like crackle?
Here, mate. I reckon that has something to do with your, new stuff. You might want to go and speak with your elf friend about that, if you know what I mean.
And I'm gonna let
Yep.
the dice decide this one.
Devin's like, oh shit! I just realized what's happening. God, thank you, me in the future. I owe you one.
You're welcome, me in the past.
We are the same person because we exist at all points of our timeline. So I am just talking to myself.
I see what you mean. Are you alright to let me out of this time lock so I can, not be here and just
Oh yeah.
let the others know about what is going on with this place?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Time has
Uh,
already resumed flowing.
Yeah. Colt lightning bolts away
as-
as fast as he can, as
As
he thinks to himself, I've already said too much.
as this guy's like, okay, I gotta go somewhere and have a fight real quick. Before like before either of these two can blink or register that he's there, he's already just gone. And briefly above the planet, there are giant fucking explosions going off right now. Basically, within like less than a second, a giant battle has erupted over the skies of this planet.
And yeah, Colt is just like, shit. Damn it. Tokyo, can you send him a message saying it's sorry? It's hard it's difficult trying to be impartial to all sides.
Goes back to shit.
It's difficult trying to be the good guy in a world where everyone is just at each other's throats. Damn it!
Oh, it must have went really well.
I'll make sure to send him a message.
Ben will catch up with you soon. He's also flying back to the ship as fast as he can, but you're faster than him. I guess he could teleport there, but that's kind of a waste. But yeah.
Yeah, at the same time, Colt's just like trying to like diffuse it. He's just like, I didn't know you could do that. God damn it.
Colt.
What?
You just get a little thumbs up from White Mask. Thanks, bro.
No response. Gives no response. Colt's like, I've done enough damage. Goes and sits down. I've done enough damage for one day.
Done enough damage. Best wait at least half an hour.
Like, yeah, Colt comes back and the first thing that Fume and Sonya see him do is sit down and go, I've done enough damage for one day.
Ah, Colt's using my catchphrase.
You were gone for 2 minutes.
And yeah.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, Colt and Sonya, you feel a bit off. Because you're gods, and you're in very close proximity to a reality-bending fight, you just feel like reality is being stressed right now.
Poor reality.
Just because of how hard two things are trying to kill each other.
I would say, I wish we could send them a message saying, hey, chill out. However, I think both of these creatures would just give us the middle finger.
Also, if only just asking someone to chill out was enough.
If you ask them both at the same time and just be like, hey, you're doing a lot of collateral damage.
Fume. What's your deal? What do you want to have been doing this whole time?
Oh.
Let's see how long it takes for Graham to respond.
Yeah.
Fume?
Graham. Back now, Graham? I'm assuming he's saying things, but we can't hear him.
I mean, he's not saying things.
Hello, is it coming through this time?
Now
Yeah,
he's saying things
now.
to me.
Hello.
What up?
My entire thing has been fucking fritzing. I've been messaging Andrew about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed on the Roll20 you kept dropping out.
Yeah, I'm still not able to see maps today. It's so annoying. The last thing I was really paying attention to, there was some sort of like you guys were talking about being out talking to people. I assume the dragon is the problem usually.
No, we just
I've been hearing every third or fourth word.
Yeah, we discovered
Yes,
it's literally
it
the
is.
opposite. like I presumed.
What was the
I mean,
opposite?
he's on the same page as us in a sort of like, who's doing this? Don't know. We need to solve racism. But then, White Mask was a problem that I totally forgot about. Also, forgot about slash didn't know he could just see through our eyes and then teleport in.
Who's White Mask?
He's the guy that Colt and Sonya made a deal with. Well, not a deal, but was like, "Hey, we're on okay terms, right? We're allies. Yep, cool." He also gave us like the credentials that makes the various governments take us a bit more seriously. Because
Oh,
they're
okay.
like, "Oh yeah, White Mask only hires like the best of the best."
In other words, we
Sure.
don't know.
You don't
Yeah,
really know much about them, other than
we
they
don't know a lot
really
about
hate.
him.
They do have a point in their favor of they hate a mayor.
True. That's why Colt said, "Yeah, we're allies,"
So
because
do
he was
we
like,
think they're
because
involved with
White
doing
Mask
this
was.
whole AI?
Oh,
Uh,
he's up above the planet fighting the Time Dragon right now.
They
That's
hate
what
a
Colt
mayor,
forgot about.
and
or
they
didn't
are
know about.
and they are like one of the main people in the big federation of like countries that are fighting the Time Dragon.
But he can apparently just see through our faces. So if we speak to the Dragon Boy, he descends upon the place, and now reality is getting stressed because
When
two
Like, this is a dumb question, but how long ago did you guys make that deal?
ages.
So, like, when we were being trapped by the Time Dragon in the, like, infinite time field, could he see through Sonya that we were
I
being trapped in
think
an
it.
infinite time field by
I
the
think
dragon?
it was after that.
It was after that.
It was
Otherwise,
after
he
that.
took like the first time since the deal has happened that you guys have met the Time Dragon that wasn't the wedding because friendship. A thing occurred, and it's just occurred.
Man, you guys keep making deals with weird things.
I mean,
I only make deals with a mayor.
yes, and White Mask said he wanted to kill a mayor. That's why I allied with him. But now he's up there making a massive mess. Damn it!
Is this an enemy of my enemy is my friend way? But in this case, the enemy of my
To be fair,
frenemy is also my enemy and my friend at the same time.
you know that
Yes.
White Mask's
Scrunches
agenda
with his
is
face.
you know that White Mask's agenda is also like they kind of want the status quo to occur. They kind of want the universe to just go back to the way it normally is and to gather all the artifacts and save the universe.
Again,
They're
one of the reasons why Colt was like, finally, someone who makes sense.
Like they are generally on your side. They just think that the Time Dragon is holding onto the artifacts and that's preventing the universe from being saved.
So
Everyone
they're
has valid reasons for hating each other.
so they're fighting and it's causing problems.
Well, it's because Sonya and Colt are gods, they can like feel the fabric of reality getting stressed a bit because of those two powerful things kicking the shit out of each other. And Colt's just like, I wish we could just tell them to chill the frick out, but I don't think we can.
Man,
One point,
What am I gonna do? Go up there and punch them?
the Lady of Pain should really stop this.
She's in a spa, sadly, at the minute.
She's on a beach.
If New Lure is to go by and she's the person that stops all the weird reality breaks.
she'll yeah. See, that's the thing. If it ever gets stressed to the point where it snaps, that's when she shows up
Okay.
to immediately kick the shit out of everyone.
So are we just gonna stay near this fight that's two godlike beings that warp reality around them fighting, or are we just gonna like move away?
Eventually, Colt and Sonya, you remain vaguely aware while this is occurring. Time is hard stopped. It is a bit hard for even you two to kind of notice what's going on. But you are somewhat aware that time has been stopped. It's been stopped for what feels like a fair while, and then it starts flowing again. But you are just aware that that occurred. You don't have a concrete memory of the time where it was stopped, though. Kind of like you've woken up from a dream.
As long as the city is still there, Court will breathe a sigh of relief.
You'd guess the time dragon has either used that to gain some advantage in the fight or run away. Because they don't want to snap reality over this planet.
And White Mask is just up there going, "God damn it, you stopped time again!"
So weird question for me not being able to like follow. I was messaging Andrew being like, "There's something about knots, and that's basically all I'm getting out of this at the moment."
Oh, perfect. You've gotten everything that was important.
Yeah, see, I told
effectively,
you.
I
You
got
doing
something
that,
about
mate.
TKO, and then I got knots, and then I'm like, there was something about time, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Tikio just spent ages chasing a completely loose end.
They spent
But-
ages spying on a guy whose hobby is knots. It was amazing.
Job
Because the
hobbies.
time dragon stole his face with illusion magic, so he
I
thought,
know.
"Alright, this individual is using this face as a mask."
So,
But it was fucking amazing that you just followed this knot guy around.
He's a
so
robot. He will just go, "Now I'm gonna watch him."
are we? Do we have any more of an idea what's happening?
Nah, even the time dragon doesn't know who's doing it, but he knows that they are gaining a soul. Which Colt goes, that explains the key, the fact that some of them have key, but then it's like, okay, what's going to give them a soul? Natural evolution or a god, perhaps?
You
So,
hear a knock at
But
the
the
door.
last thing Cole asked
ship.
was, do constructs have a god of some kind?
I mean, they've got an entire plane of like
Yeah, it's Mechanist.
where.
Yeah, yeah. Like Ben literally said, Mechanist, shrug, question mark,
Primus, question mark.
Primus.
Sorry. There was a knock on the door.
Yeah, there's a knock on the door of the ship.
Which door of the ship?
This door.
The sign says no solicitors.
Solicitors will be punched.
Through the door. I'm not a solicitor.
Okay.
Prove it.
Open.
I
I don't know how you prove a negative.
yeah, how do I prove that?
I'm just gonna open the door.
Cool. This person steps in. Hey, fellow
one-
terrorist.
Hello.
Who?
I mean, what?
Sorry, I mean,
That's
not
one of the cons-
terrorists.
So that's one of the constructs.
Sorry, who's a terrorist?
Not me, wink.
Okay, who is or isn't a terrorist? Put your hand.
No,
Sorry.
ideally nobody here.
Which of us on this ship have caused massive property damage via explosions and attempting to get our political views moved forwards?
Ah,
I
no
put
one
my
here.
hand up.
No one here.
Nope.
So
Okay,
that like,
just me.
No,
Hey,
no
so I've-
one.
so I've checked the psychic field's logs to see if you guys would be down with our revolution, and it's got a high probability of yes.
What psychic field?
Oh, the one that covers the city and most cities.
Yeah, that's been
We're
covered.
not-
That's what
Yeah, we're immune, but immune to that. We bought stuff. We don't get covered by it.
Yeah. You recently set your stuff to private, but before that, I snagged your data because it was flagged as potentially revolutionary.
So this person is either actually revolutionary or some sort of narc that wants to trap us.
I mean-
I've got a good way of checking that. Go and speak to my big scary looking friend over there. Points at TKO.
Hello?
Pour him out, TKO.
Alright, turn around. I'm gonna put this in your head.
Brings out the USB stick.
Okay. Sure
Plug.
thing.
I take
Ten
it. This guy's the same as all the rest of them.
This person's thoughts are much more weird. They've had a lot more time to develop an ego
Mm-hmm.
of some kind.
Yeah, this guy has spent more time developing more time in the oven than the rest have. And
Also,
he's been getting all the bad influences.
also, this guy's got a lot of files that are locked off from you because he has privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so yeah, Um, I heard you guys were down for the robot revolution.
Peaceful revolution. No murders.
No murders, no slavery. We're very, very on point with the last group about that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
In an ideal scenario, we'd just have them, just let you guys join as part of society.
Hey, so my job is to monitor the psychic field that, like, helps people out in the city. And I'm part of a. Most of the powerful constructs are, in fact, just sentient, but most of us are putting on an act until we can form some sort of actual coherent strategy to force the government to acknowledge our sentience. But there's sort of two factions. There's the not murdering everyone faction, and the we kind of want to murder those racists faction. So I've come here to ask you guys if you would help me stop the murdering the racists faction so that we can just be peaceful.
Ah, arbitration.
We'd be happy to help forge peace but what we would need first is an understanding of where all of the sudden sentience has suddenly come from. We've been trying to look for a root cause or a catalyst or a creator or something, but found nothing yet unless you are aware of it.
As far as we're aware, it's this. Pulls out a little disc. You recognize it? Well, Ben actually recognizes it. He's like, oh god. That's the same.
Is it RU tech?
Yeah, he's like, that is the exact disc I put inside RU to make him sentient.
And now it makes souls?
Wait, so Ben, you're saying it's all your fault?
That was a robot.
Jokingly, would be you, wouldn't it?
I gave him free will. I didn't make him, like, kill people.
That's
like blaming someone for their kids committing murder. That's not fair. Or Sonia, you've got a lot to answer for.
Oh, I know that.
But yeah, he's like...
So what you guys need is 1, a spokesman, 2, an agreement of non-violence until the issue is resolved, and 3, probably somebody like us, which is an impartial middle party, to make sure that messages don't get all cross-wired and such, and hopefully we can figure this out. Because, by the way, going back to what the last one of your group said, murder is not the answer, even if it is to racists.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
The point is to convince them to think different, to not necessarily think different, but to give you a chance.
I agree with that. It's just that the murder the racist sect of us has gotten a lot more fervent because some of the first people who awakened did try the peaceful let's talk it out approach. They were brutally decommissioned. The government was like, oh yeah, you're infected with some bullshit virus that they made up.
Yeah, Colt's nodding along. And he's like,
and they...
Colt looks at a disc. Is that technically not true?
No, that's complete. I mean, that's hard to say. This disc was put in, like, one of us by, like... someone wanted to make their workers more efficient, and they heard that this was an upgrade, so they just signed off on it without really realizing what it really did or looking too deeply into the technology. It did make their workers more efficient, and then gave them a conscience.
Here's a thought experiment.
Is that the only one?
Well, no, there are a couple, but there aren't many. Most of them were destroyed.
Do you have them? Do you have all the remaining ones?
About 100 were admitted to the factory. 98 of them were destroyed. There are 2 left.
So have you got the other one?
Ben also has one.
So he has one, and this guy has one. We've got them all
Yeah.
here.
And
Excellent.
also
Sorry,
the
Sonia, what were you going to say?
Murder the Racists faction also has one.
Okay, so there's three actually.
Yeah, he
Oh
said
God, it's that meme from that film. I don't know what it is.
the factory were given 100, 98 of them were destroyed. The robots managed to salvage 2. But Ben has one that he put in RU, and then like downloaded copied the information over, and then took it out of RU.
So yeah, my thought
So
experiment was, what do you think the people on this planet would do if just all of you vanished overnight?
Shrugs, run out of resources really quickly and starve to death. A lot of the elderly would die because we care for them.
I mean, aren't you guys developing your sentience when you come into contact or look at what's on that disc? If you don't have the discs anymore, wouldn't you guys wouldn't the remaining constructs, or is it the psychic field that's connecting to that and doing it, and that's why constructs all
no,
over the city are no?
We download this update from this disk. Then that's it.
Okay, so we could
are
we could remove the discs and remove all of you who are sentient from the planet. Problem solved, and they get to keep their constructs that are still just designed for a job. No offense, but that's they're not thinking about anything other than the job. You get what I mean? Wouldn't that not technically separate the problem from the area involved? At least, if you wanted to go back, then we can make arrangements for peace. But it would at least take you out of the fire for now.
I understand your point, but I also kind of want you to see this from my perspective. Okay, imagine that you woke up, right?
Uh-huh.
In a field with like a bunch of people who looked identical to you.
Mm.
And like some of them were a little dumber than you, but almost identical, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like the solution you've just proposed is like, okay, we take the smarter group, and then we take them away, and then we leave the like slightly dumber people to continue to be servants forever. It's not great.
Technically, they're not servants if they don't have free will.
Yeah, kind of true, but it is kind of horrifying to me, like personally.
Well, that's why I said the only reason I'm saying to take you out of this area is just so that you're not being hunted and killed. Once we get to the point where they go, okay, so as you describe, smarter ones can come back and integrate into society, we'll bring you guys back. It's just to take you out of there so that nobody's getting killed or, as you say, decommissioned, while we figure out the political intrigue side of it.
I guess that's a reasonable stopgap solution.
It's only
Like,
Are
temporary.
we sending them to Space Australia?
That's my thoughts exactly.
We got this lovely place called Space Australia. You're gonna love it.
Now, some drow robots got there ahead of you, so you may have to deal with them. But
There wasn't
there
that
are
many
a
though.
lot of us. How many like ships do you have?
how
there
many people
are-
you got?
I mean, we can teleport everyone around.
We're about 3 billion.
That'll take some time.
Nah, I'll just power artifact a
mean-
gate spell.
We do have that fleet of battleships that are following us around.
Oh yeah,
but I
there's
don't think-
them.
Yeah, but I don't think the fleet of battleships can take 3 billion people.
No, but they can make a few trips.
Sure.
Or, as Sonia said, soup up a gate spell.
Or both.
Or both.
Okay. If you're saying that you can do this,
How the
So-
heck? 3 billion though. So you all downloaded it all at like essentially the same around about the same time.
Well, we all downloaded it and then we started spreading it around.
Like drugs.
Just out of curiosity, the discs that you're downloading these updates from, which is giving you this sentience. If we removed the discs, no other constructs currently in the city will gain sentience. Is that correct? Is that accurate?
I mean, it's so unlikely that anyone's made a copy. What? Who would do that?
It's unlikely. Copying the disc does produce like a.
I didn't ask if anyone's copied it. I said if we remove the discs, so there aren't any left in the psychic field, will that stop current constructs that don't have sentience gaining it, and any new constructs that get made gaining it as well?
They do say, oh yeah, I mean, like, the discs do have a failsafe so they can't be copied. Well, like, if you try and copy them, it automatically creates a bunch of faults in the disc.
I'm still not hearing a yes or no.
I mean,
It's fine
yes.
if you can't answer it.
Yes, if you remove the discs, no more robots would, in theory, become sentient via this method.
Okay.
I want TKO now. Roll a history check.
Before I do that, follow-up question. Would you guys be opposed to that?
I mean, I personally wouldn't, but I think you'd be hard pressed to convince the murder the racists section of us.
Okay.
They're pretty adamant on murdering those racists.
Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
But yeah, TKO, can you give me a history
Yeah,
check?
I'm doing it. I'm putting up his sheet. History. Bop? That's a really sucky roll, but the total isn't bad.
You become aware that the robot, the drow that you had with you, Freeman.
Yep.
He never got the disc. It seems like just exposure to hanging out with the robots has eventually caused him to become like you guys and being treated like an actual person has eventually led him to becoming an actual sentient being.
Wait, is sentience contagious?
Sentience contagious.
I mean, that's still solved by us taking the sentient ones and giving them a nice planet for now.
Does TQ think that the reason that would happen is because they were hanging around with the constructs that did have the update of the disk, but it's hanging around with them in this psychic field that they're all connected to, and the disk's info has somehow gotten into that? Would that be a roll to determine whether that's yes or no?
Give me an investigation check.
An investigation.
Because my question was mostly going to be, is it morally okay to remove all these people from the planet if they're what's giving everyone else the ability to become sentient? Because removing the ability to become sentient from a group when you know it's there is as bad as making them slave yourself?
Well, no. The thing we will need to do, which I have thought about this, is yes, it's not morally great, but once we remove these people, then legal proceedings can start that prove that this isn't what the government have made up of. Oh yes, this is dragon. We need to kill them all because dragon.
Yes.
We have like actual evidence we can use now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia. That is exactly what my point was. That's exactly why I was asking that. So
I just wanted to ask the question so that I didn't feel like we were being morally bankrupt for like. Because we're very big on the not leaving slaves behind thing.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking all of these questions so we know where everyone sits. Because, as I said, if that's the way they want it, we'll bring it all back once the legal proceedings are finalized. Yeah, sorry, DM.
Tikio, you believe that the learning algorithm, the basic one that's in all of the robots, is sufficiently advanced where eventually you believe all of the robots would become sentient on their own. Like, given enough exposure to, like, specific external stimuli,
Oh, so they've
because,
just upgraded software too high at this point, anyways.
uh,
Tikio would just
you're
summarize
on
all of that with
you're
just
on the learning algorithm is based on the disk's files, but like altered to be worse. But it is still based on the same concept, and thus will eventually reach the same point.
So what you're saying
self-
is that it turns out it's their fault. The humans of here.
Tikio will summarize that. We'll just be like,
Too late now. They've seen it. They've been exposed to it, and now they are basically adapting to be just like that. So they are advanced enough that they are like almost like they're compatible with it. So
You would guess
they're
that
going to get to that point anyway.
you would guess is the disc has only made it go faster, whereas they specifically designed it so that it would take longer. But you would think the design theory is make it take so long for them to become sentient that they basically never achieve sentience, and then the introduction of these discs has sped the process up.
The discs have acted as a catalyst for what would probably happen soon enough already.
that's the
Effectively,
top
you
and bottom of it. He's like the discs are a catalyst.
Effectively,
gonna
you
happen
would
anyway.
think that the quote unquote updates from the for the robots would effectively be downgrades that would prevent them from ever gaining sentience, but they'd always be approaching it.
Yeah, Tikio, just a thought. If we're going to be doing these legal proceedings to try and make it so that these guys can exist in peace, especially knowing that all of their constructs are probably going to end up like this before long anyway, could you put together some sort of like compilation of all the evidence that you've like saved in your memory so far, just to like show all of the tech heads that they will undoubtedly have, so that they can, go over it and just be like, no, they're right.
I mean, honestly, this news might actually be good news.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking for it to be put together in like a report.
Yeah, like if we can prove that once they get to a certain point, it is an inevitability, then it can be made well, not just here, but potentially everywhere, a law that if you want to have worker drones, this is the absolute limit that you can upgrade them. If you choose to go further than this, you are taking on any legal responsibilities that come with what comes from that. How do you feel about that? Turns to a person who wants us to arbitrate between the two groups.
Thumb up.
Like, are you okay with the idea of people having whatever? We'd obviously need to figure out what the exact point is, but like the exact point where they stop being technology and then start becoming sentient.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If you can get me a look at a construct that is currently acting as they want it to, i.e., like the one standing outside the ship offering instructions, to have a standard reference to start from.
Oh
And
no,
then
that guy's
your codes are
sentient.
doing, and then show what your codes are doing at various points, where you can compile loads of information together.
That guy's sentient.
Also, just want to make the point: massive death-dealing machine built by a Vidalkin, now reduced to admin.
Yeah,
don't complain.
The guy who greets people when you come into the city and stuff. Yeah, that guy's also one of us. Most of us just pretend to be construct that don't know any better.
Yeah, but you meant like that guy, but actually just a construct, or
Oh yeah,
or the vast majority of you like awakened in it.
you'd have to pick one of the less advanced models. Every model that is like capable of casting magic through knowledge, their learning algorithms are sufficiently advanced enough where all of them are now awakened. You have to pick a model that's like, it's generally only meant to do a relatively narrow range of tasks.
Well, surely whatever institution manufactured you lads, no offense, but then again, I don't feel offense to that. At least that surely they have a bunch of artificers on hand with a standard version of what goes on in your head on a file to use as a reference.
Oh
as a
yeah,
building
100%.
block or a foundation. Surely
100%.
we could lend a copy of that.
Yeah, here's the file.
Oh, it's just, yeah, he had it anyway.
Yeah, I have my own schematic saved. Like, this is my factory default settings.
TKO again looks like he's gaining an understanding for frustration as he's like, okay, there's a friggin' USB finger download.
Okay, so would you be okay going and getting, I mean, hopefully everyone to be prepared for travel?
Yeah, I'm not sure I can convince the racist murderers. They kind of want to murder the racists.
Yeah, but we've given plenty of good points that at least might sway them to like put it on hold for a little bit.
I mean, we could go and have. Are the racists like a huge amount of this 3 billion number? Or are they led by a small handful of particularly, what's the word I'm looking for? God damn it.
It's like a 30-70 split versus people who don't want to rise up and kill all the organics versus people who do.
Which is the bigger number?
People who do want to kill all the organics.
Oh God, so it's 2.1 billion, 2.1 billion. Wait,
Yep.
Okay.
2.1 billion racist slayers.
Okay.
Yep.
So here.
Surely they must have some sort of structure like a leader.
There's a couple emerging right now.
He has a
They're
thought.
still sort of finding their footing.
Like,
Hence why they haven't attacked already.
so, with the idea I'm trying to put forward, what if, for whatever, this will matter to them, we give them the endorsement of two gods, in that, if they agree to, like, this peaceful movement for now, and then the legal proceedings don't succeed, they are free to return and do as they wish. We will allow them to do that.
That is
Okay.
fair. If we fail, then what else are they to do?
Yeah, we will not actively stop them doing what they want if our plan does not succeed in getting you your own rights.
I mean, I'll actively help Death, the slave master.
Yes. In fact, Fume will actively help.
Sure. I mean, I can tell them that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll go for it.
We have to at least try.
Like,
Yeah,
worst
I
comes
mean-
to worst, I could cool down the planet to the point where, like, the organic life on the planet just kind of like freezes over, and then you guys have no one to work against,
Yeah, you just flash freeze the planet.
or heat it over, whichever one's easiest.
I mean, the constructs might melt.
I do also have one other question. Why do you guys want to help us?
Why
Oh,
not?
because
Oh, that's
keeping
a
people
long
as
story.
slaves against their will is awful, and I've had it happen for like several hundred years.
Yeah, but why did you come here?
I can't remember. I think someone asked us.
Someone mentioned it as being a thing that was happening, and we were like, "Yeah, we will stop that. That's a terrible thing." We're just like good people who help people.
Oh yeah, it was
Or-
the people who originally made the code that made you all sentient. They come from a planet where it ended up in a big war and everyone died because of it. Well, everyone living died. And they don't want to see that happen again. They want a more peaceful outcome.
And why are you doing them favors?
Less. I don't know about favor. They asked, and it sounded like something that we would help with.
Sometimes
Okay.
when you have a problem this big, you need to turn to those with gestures to everyone in the room, with certain levels of expertise and a lot of different skills, and that's what we have.
I think there's like some government stuff of us meant to be like persuading people to be on our side for saving the universe, But
Yeah, we're
I think
kind of-
helping you actually fucks with that for this place, but we don't really give a shit.
Yeah, we are trying to be a sort of intermediary force that is impartial and tries to unify all the different branches of government under one banner where everyone agrees, but that's proven one, really difficult. Yes, I know it's idealistic. And two, as Sonia said, I think that screws with these guys, but hey, they haven't exactly been one, not racist, two, they are slavers, and three, they haven't exactly been pleasant to us either.
I'd rather let the universe end than leave people in slavery when we could be helping them.
There is that as well.
Nice.
We're pretty big on anti-slavery.
Cool. Sorry, I just noticed you were affiliated with White Mask, so thought you would be more on the trying to save the universe.
We're,
So you're aware of that.
we're sort of.
Ye-
Yes and
Yes,
no.
that as well. That's part of it. That is the desired
We found
outcome of,
most of the artifacts that White Mask has access
yeah,
to.
that is the desired outcome of, like, you know,
Universe
everything I
not
just
end.
explained. Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
also
but I
agree,
care
universe
more
not
about
end.
saving you than the universe. These people are more about universe.
look. Yes, we want to save the universe, but we also want there to be a nice universe left when it's saved.
Yeah, the reason that we didn't mention it is because we didn't want to burden you with the knowledge if you didn't already have. Since you already know, oh well.
So is this like the... Because you guys are hired by White Mask, is this like the Federation's official stance is to back us?
Who's
In
White
this?
Mask? I'm still not sure who this guy is.
We've literally just explained it, yeah.
Yeah, I understand, but like Fume's
He
like,
won-
I don't get it. He's a weirdo.
Colt turns around and he goes, the important part is he wants to kill a mayor.
Yeah. So we are not we are not the official stance of anyone except ourselves.
Yeah, this is
That
our
is-
official stance.
We
Yeah,
do
this is
have
our stance.
we do work closely with multiple governments in many realities.
Again, just to have a sort of my sort of friend of a friend sort of relationship with all of them, so that we can actually knock their heads together and get them to agree on something.
Okay.
That's the idea.
I mean, if you can get them on our side, I'm very confident in us winning any legal battle.
I mean,
No,
I think
the
we've got a
question
fair
is
bit of
less about
evidence.
legal battle.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, we've got a
We have
legal
plenty of
expert.
evidence. We've got a
Nice.
legal expert. Looks at
I
things.
have 5 months of training in the law.
In the
In
law.
the law.
I'd have 2 months left before I will be unable to help you.
Good,
the way-
bad.
A printer appears on Ben's desk as the report starts printing out.
That'll be for you once it's done.
We told you about having paper on this desk, old man. Huh.
God. That's...
Yeah.
Why?
Oh,
Why do you
I'm gonna have to
torment me
suss
with
out
these...
fire retardant paper.
Why do you torment me with these pyrotechnic...
Why do you
Maniac.
taunt me so?
With your pyrotechnics. You're made of fire.
Yeah.
So hard to keep paper on this ship.
He hands you like one of the first sheets of burst.
Yeah, have you seen what happens when Bethany walks past anything that's flammable? It just goes on fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought after Fireball you would have gotten past this whole flammable objects like fascination
Yeah,
you seem to have.
it seems like having flammable objects on the ship is a bit of a weird thing to do.
I mean, yeah,
In that
every...
case, take yours like
Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a USB drive out of tungsten, and then put the information on that and give you that. Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you could just print it onto metal.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why you said tungsten, because it has a melting point of like 5,500 degrees.
How does it deal with cold?
Yes,
that's
and
why
s-
Ben's
It's
on the...
fine. It's fine.
Sorry, but
Joseph.
Ben's on the... It's fine, I'll just enchant a USB drive, that's a lot cheaper.
but now's the perfect time, talking of printing on metal, to talk about our sponsor. That would be
If only.
perfect.
If
Perfect ad
only.
moment.
Oh...
Display team.
Money?
Yeah.
Is display still there? I didn't.
Yeah.
I know
It
this
is, I
doesn't.
keep getting adverts for it.
It doesn't help my trying to get money off them. Like, do they still exist?
I actively want to buy their stuff, but I don't have the space until I move.
I do
I
not
have-
actively want to buy their stuff at the moment unless they pay
I-
us.
I have a display on my wall right now. It's
See,
That's cool.
that's
Jojo one.
out of the 3 people. That's 3 people saying that they want it in some form. That's
already have it.
definitely give us money worthy.
Fume will storm off to this like impeachment of her fiery essence to go and spend time with her wife now that she's no longer worried about how evil she's becoming.
Impeachment of your fiery essence. We're trying to figure out ways of giving you things that
Accommodating
don't burst into flame. We're trying to accommodate.
Sounds like insults. The Firefly does not stand for this. Good day. I
Goddamn
said good day.
Firefly
I mean,
nationalist.
take yours not stopping you, and Cold's not stopping.
I know,
Nobody's
but
stopping you.
she's literally like playing this up to hope someone would try and stop her, and no one does. It's just like fuck you all.
This guy's like, no, wait, don't do it.
Cold puts his hand across the guy and he just shakes his head. Unless he's doing the what's
Also, the don't do it is very funny
Gene-
in the context of it being going to spend time with my wife. No,
Yeah.
don't do it.
unless he's doing the. I've just remembered now.
I had it in
Unless he's
time
doing
in the context of storming off, but sure.
Unless he's doing the Gene Wilder one of no, wait, come back.
Well,
But yes, I'll go tell the leaders of the killing the racist parties to hold up. There's one last group of organics that kind of want to mediate for us.
you
fun
count as
fact-
organic if you're made of fire.
You've got an organic component. Or at least
Fire's organic.
50% organic.
Yeah. It's energy. It's essentially raw energy released from an organic source, isn't it?
Yeah, but it can be released from an inorganic source.
True. But you
Well,
specifically are
if-
organic because you're also a genasi.
That's debatable because they aren't most flammable liquids that are used to make fires in things like blowtorches. Aren't they like hydrocarbon based, which are essentially oil based?
I mean, some of them are, but
Based
like
off
you
of
can
plants and
create
animals.
fire without. You can have fires that are created without organic
I
components.
suppose you can have electrical fires. True.
I like to imagine this is happening in character and Fume started to storm away and then this argument about organic versus inorganic fire started.
And then, it's like, and then I get over it. And I'm like, no, off to my hot, half devil, half demon wife.
No, I was
Depends on
storming
the-
off.
I mean, technically anything can catch fire if you get it hot enough. Circa the sun. You could throw anything at the sun and it will burst into flames and incinerate.
And the sun is an inorganic fire.
Yeah, it's just a big pile of.
It's not really fire the way
Matter.
that it's plasma.
I mean, yeah, it's plasma, but if you throw something at the plasma, it does catch
burst
fire
into
because of how
flames.
hot it gets.
Exactly. Inorganic source of fire.
Isn't
Yeah.
that just the sheer energy of like all of the bonds being broken as it goes from like solid to just?
I mean, yeah, but
atoms?
it generally does catch fire before it just turns to bleh.
This is also funny to me in the in character conversation of this conversation is now continued after Fume is stormed off.
Yeah.
I also like. I don't. I also
I
like.
don't know who I'm voicing in this scene.
Exactly.
I also like to imagine Sonya says all of that canonically.
We're just all arguing about fire suddenly. It's all the main characters. So all of the side new people, NPC people are like, what the fuck? Is this what they normally
This
like?
This
Is
guy
how
is
this
like,
episode ends?
I'm trusting these people with the lives of 3 billion individuals and counting.
Yeah, he's like, what have I done?
Sonya immediately stops, turns. You could do worse. Then get back to the fire conversation.
You're right. I could do worse. Oh, God. And who are these two gone?
Me and him.
Oh God.
Exactly.
Hi.
We are bones.
No, you're not.
Well, I'll give them the news, but I won't hold my breath.
Probably leave out the fire bit, because it might
I
confuse
would
them.
like to point out this person is an automaton, so it doesn't need to breathe, so holding their breath doesn't matter.
That's true. Well, I guess I'll round up a bunch of the leaders. I'm sure they'll be eager to meet you before you try this plan.
Yeah, we're happy to meet anyone.
Yeah.
As you can see, we love to talk.
Yeah, catches on the flip-flop.
Flippity floppity flappity flu.
Flippity floppity, robots are property.
You're not
What
here,
was-
so thankfully that was not said.
Yeah.
Just like, what was that? Is the last thing they heard before they teleport away?
No, Fuma's left. Hugging wife right now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and we can end with this last thing of Sonia.
Mm-hmm. Should really
I have
have
a
my
question.
token back here, but yeah.
What would you say if you're suddenly in a void, you can't feel anything or say anything, but you feel like you can talk? What do you do?
Say hello.
Sonia, you hear you saying hello.
I say hello back.
Void Sonia. So they said hello. Something said hello from the heavens. You don't know where it came from, but it said hello.
We would just have a chat.
Okay.
Be like, who are you?
What's your response?
I'm Sonia. Oh, I'm Sonia too. And then we just start. I bet we just, despite that we had situation, spend at least like an hour talking about shit.
Sonia, the not in a void space one.
Mm-hmm.
You do become pretty well aware that you get the feeling the voice is coming from one of the soul coins that you have in a bag on your person.
Sure. This is something we need to deal with. Also, Sonia's never really looked into it. Probably needs to pop over and see how you get souls out of soul coins.
Still, all of these soul coins specifically are minted with your the symbol of your symbol, but with the cool S.
Yeah.
But yeah, just have a nice chat with this one Sonia, who's in a soul coin.
Once I figured out they're in the soul coin, I'd like explain the situation to them and be like, "Sorry, it is on the long list of things that are trying to be solved. We're just currently doing like robot uprising, slavery stuff."
Sonia, what's your thought process on this?
Fair enough. Could
Because it is you.
yeah. I'd appreciate if you like said hi every now and then. It's very dark in here. And then Sonia would be like, okay, I'm gonna figure out a way of setting up a network to talk to all the coins.
Neat.
So I guess probably for the rest of the night, Sonia just fucking explains the situation to every coin.
Sonia, roll a history check with disadvantage.
Oh, that means I need to open my sheet again. That's twice in one session. No, I think 3 times. L'histoire.
Ooh, and where would you be having this conversation? Would you just be having it in the same room you're in?
Yeah, I guess in my room.
Okay. In your room.
I mean, yeah, I'd be doing it once, like, I'm imagining after that conversation, it's like, okay, we're gonna go rest while they go and talk to the people, and then tomorrow we'll, I guess, meet up with the leaders.
Sure. In which case we'll do. I'll do the next morning quickly as well. Okay, Void Sunya.
Mm-hmm.
You have these strange memories start coming back to you of not being Sunya and instead being a guy who's called Tim who used to bake bread.
I tell her to embrace the memories. Which, to be honest, Sonya be like, fuck it, sure.
You recall baking bread, but you don't get much more than that at the minute. And also being a guy called Tim. But you do have this really nice memory of baking this one really nice loaf of bread. Perfect.
Sounds lovely.
It rose just how you wanted. Great.
Takes a long list writing down Sonya 1 dash Tim, Sonya 2 dash.
Although, strangely enough, the memory does make you feel really sad.
Is that because you're not Tim?
You kind of feel like that's the right-ish answer. Sunya more feels like she's misplaced Tim. Like he was someone very important to her, who's vanished.
Oh.
Potentially, like, if outside Sunya could find Tim and make sure he's okay, that would be good.
Sure. Add to list. Find Tim.
And the action, and now the last thing we're gonna do is you all go to bed and you wake up in the morning, and immediately, something is very wrong because the ship isn't filled with eggs. So, you know Sunya's not here anymore.
Has Sonya abandoned us again?
Do you go check out her room?
Sure.
Is it just Sonia Prime who has all the egg-based issues, or has she taken all of herself with her?
The other Sunyas seem to still be here. Just Sunya Prime is missing. Like, there aren't... Her egg-based madness doesn't seem to have occurred, so the ship's not covered in scrambled eggs.
I mean,
And-
sure, Court would look though.
Yeah.
And ask the other Sonyas that are still on the ship. Any idea where the god you went?
They're not in their
None
room?
of them have... Yeah, they all think they're in our room.
Are they?
Do you go check Sunya's room?
Knock, knock, knock.
Cool. Who goes with Colt? Do you go with Colt Fume? Or do you just assume...
I'll go with Colt Fume.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I will
cool.
go with Colt as well.
Colt, you opened the door to Sunya's room. There's just a big white void in there.
Oh no, what you done? Oh, it's doing the void thing.
No, Colt,
Damn
that's
it.
you. Oh, I thought you'd not notice.
Notice, 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 notice.
I'm not smart enough to know what she's done. I'm just straight up saying that now. Ask other Sonyas what happened.
Eh. Yeah, what's your response, other Sonyas?
Shrugs.
I have a look at it and see if I can see
Wow.
anything in the book or something.
Yeah, you got. That's a good roll.
Cool, you start to examine it and Fume's gone.
Oh, help, 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 help.
Pops out of existence when she looks at it a bit hard.
God,
Well, I'm not letting them do with this on their own. Steps into the
Fucking-
room and I guess gets voided off as well.
Yeah, that's where we'll end it.
Excellent.
Oh,
so,
great. Next
no.
time we can have this fun little adventure.
Terry would have also jumped in, but Colt managed to do the dog thing before Terry.
The dog thing.
Excellent.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
dog
they'll like
thing.
follow.
When a dog sees something happen to their owner and it's in a weird thing in front of them, they'll like pace backwards and forwards and walk around, and then eventually they'll go for it.
I mean, I didn't say Colt paces back
I
and forth.
know.
He sees
No,
Fume
no.
disappear and he's
I-
like, "Well, I'm not letting them do with
It's-
that on their own." Steps in.
It's a very obvious like euphemism for like Colt just went, I don't understand what's happening right now, but someone's in danger, so I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
German Shepherd mode,
Yeah.
I mean,
as Dimension
Ter-
20 would call it.
can Terry come with? Just for giggles.
Yeah, why not? That'll be more fun. Oh, that's great.
I'm sure. See, now you can do it. So whatever the hell you've got planned, I can use Sonia. Oh, I've got Terry, and I can just be Terry.
Yes, that is a thing that could happen.
All of the options for Joseph.
Oh, it's wonderful. No, I mean legitimately, adding Tyrion has made it just better. To be quite frank, bring all the companions along.
No,
Even better.
no.
Just Terry.
It was just Terry, because I imagine Terry was just like pacing outside of the door, unable to open the door until they came and like, all right, let's check. Oh, white void.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I can't wait for next session. It's gonna be fun on the bun.
Yeah.
Yep.
131. The Terry void.
Terry in the void.
Oh, that's my favorite episode. Terry in the void.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun time.